Hello, everybody. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Hopefully, everybody's doing well and feeling well on this Friday. Marcos, K Sorcerer, Ryan, hello. Sagman, Flash Monkey, Lilac, what's going on? Sky Pirate, Dragoon, Ronan, Sentinel, hello, everybody. Hope you're doing all right. I hope you're feeling well. Thank you so much for sticking around and dropping in today, I should say. We'll see if you stick around. Thank you so much for dropping in today and hanging out. A little bit shorter, well, technically a little bit longer. These are the Friday streams, so they're usually anywhere between 2 and 4 hours. This time, it's going to be 3, right smack in the middle. Let me think what we got here. Wrecking Crew 98 is fantastic, and more people should play it. I haven't played it yet. I played a little bit of Super R-Type this morning. I was surprised at how I didn't remember that game being so difficult. It's an unforgiving game. Hello. Hey, peeps. I beat RZ in one sitting ish last night. Took about 2 and a third hours. Overall, it was pretty fun, but I can see why reviews were like, if you've never seen it, don't care about the CDI, it's not going to be as good because it doesn't wink at its callbacks. It screams out loud. Do you get it? It's a CDI reference. Yeah, I haven't beaten it. I played it for a little while. I enjoyed it for what it is. It's obviously much better than the CDI games, but it is, if you don't have the frame of reference for the CDI stuff, if you don't find charm in the CDI games, you're not going to enjoy the game. And I think that was kind of always the thing. Like I feel like, you know, I talk about how I wasn't a big fan of the PS1 era 3D graphics. I'm not a big fan of the boomer shooter genre. So I feel like a lot of that's kind of the same there, where, and we even talked about this with retro games in general, where there's certain aspects of it and there's certain styles of play that those games introduced that were related to their age or their development, that if you go back and you try and experience them, if without the charm of it, without the nostalgia factor to help you, a lot of it is just not great. You know, there's tons of games that are out there that are very popular, but when you go back and you play it, if you don't have a frame of reference, or it's the first time you're playing it, or especially if it's the first time you're playing something that old or in that condition, let's say with the CDI games, if it's your first time playing it and experiencing it and you don't have any sort of frame of reference for it, you're just going to think this is a crappy game. And it really kind of is. Like, I would still say that there's some charm to it. I would still argue that RZ still has some charm to it, but that charm is rooted in it being nonsense and it feeling, it feels like a bad game done on purpose, which is exactly what it is. Today, I'm a passive listener of the podcast that's recorded in my live brain. Oh boy, I can't even ask. Flash, I'm sorry you're going through whatever it is you're going through. I'm in chapter side quests of Remake. My Monday, what's this? Oh, my Monday. My unscheduled vacation ends today. No, that's always the worst. Do you hear 7 Rebirth got another patch? I heard it got a patch that fixed like there was like a big chapter 12 glitch or something. I heard that got fixed. I didn't find interested in the 70 Square talking about Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth sales yet. It hasn't popped up in the charts or anything. What do you mean? Final Fantasy 7 repatched. I think it'll sadly inevitably date RZ by relying so heavily on the callbacks. Yeah, which I don't, so I didn't pick it out. Yeah, Marcos. I like RZ, but I'm also a fan of Zelda 2's game. See, I'm a huge fan of Zelda 2. I've often been a defender of that game, but Zelda 2 is leagues better than the CDI games. It's much better for not having a bunch of nonsense. It's much better for not being crap. This ain't that. This game is designed. That's been my biggest gripe with the CDI games, just in general, is the Zelda CDI games. Everybody that tries to remake the Zelda CDI games, they either try and go back and fix the ones that are there, or they make like a 3D version of the animations or something, or they make RZ, which is like it's the homage to it. It has all of the same problems done on purpose without the control. Like the controls are obviously much better and all. I don't understand why somebody hasn't tried to take the story and the characters from the CDI games and make a legitimately good game. Like RZ obviously isn't those games. It's meant to be an homage to those games, but it's not actually those games. It's not actually Link. It's not actually Gamelon. It's not any of that. Or not Gamelon. What the heck is the name of the place? I always forget the name of where it takes place. Korodai. Why hasn't anybody like tried to make a game out of using a pre-existing engine? Why not use Zelda 2 sprite work? There's that Zelda 2 remake, which is incredible, by the way, that I have. I think I beat it. I have to go back and see if I finished it. But I don't understand why nobody's tried to remake that game. Like to actually make it a good game. Everybody replicates the bad aspects of the game. Everybody replicates the nonsense of it. So why not remake the game? It could be a relatively decent story. It's as hokey as it seems because of the animations and stuff. It is a varied cast. You know, there are a lot of kooky characters, which is not completely uncommon for Zelda. So it's not like it's not like it's unprecedented for Zelda games to have a bunch of wacky characters. So why not take all of those concepts and make an actual good game out of it? And I don't mean an actual company. I don't mean because I know that I know everybody's getting ready to start typing that it's a whole licensing thing. Fans make games all the time. Why is there? It feels like there's never been a fan game of the CDI games that's trying to actually be a good game. All of them are trying to be a bad game on purpose, and I don't understand why nobody has done that. Oh, wait. That's weird. Boomers made a genre focused on shooting boomers. How very bold of them. I like old games even without the nostalgia. Mario 64, whenever the camera screws over, for example. Yeah, like you don't want to replicate that, right? I think the difference is a lot of those things were popular at the time. The CDI was not. A lot of the charm came from how bad the stuff was, and that lacks the nostalgic longevity, I think. Once you look past the charm, I ask myself, is the game engaging enough? From what I saw, no. It's fine for what it is, but yeah, you get it for the charm. But and I have it. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't buy RZ. I do have it, but I haven't finished it. I don't know. It's just the draw wasn't there for me. I also had a bunch of other games that I was playing, so the draw just wasn't there to really get to the end of it. Yeah, you can date Genova now. We don't know the sales. All we know is the highest peak of active players being 2.21 million, but that doesn't mean that's sales numbers. I mean, that means we know it's at least 2.21 million. Hey, Nephiloid, hey, Shadow. It fixed the can't stop, won't stop side quest in Rebirth. True, but similar gameplay structure is what I mean. Yeah, well, just the fact that it's a side-scrolling 2D Zelda game, which, there's only, 2? 3, technically. By this point, after Sony and Square were telling us how well Remake and Final Fantasy 16 were selling for Rebirth, neither have said anything, but it's been well received. We know how much Sony particularly love to brag, I guess. Again, it's not to say the game is a flop. It is, you're right. You're right. It is kind of weird that, because you're right, because some of those other games, they were like, oh, congratulations on selling 3 million copies. And it doesn't really feel like they said anything. Maybe they realized that was kind of obnoxious. I don't know, because I personally think that's kind of obnoxious to just like, hey, congratulations on selling random number of games. Like, okay, it's selling well. There's nothing wrong with that, but it starts to feel like you kind of have to do it with everybody. You know what I mean? Long as they keep the cuts, but you can keep. But Executor, if you were to remake the CDI games, you could keep cutscenes, but make them actual good cutscenes. You can make them good cutscenes, not the crazy animation style. Or if you want to do actual, like imagine doing actual anime cutscenes for those sequences with I wouldn't say toned down versions of the characters, but something that's a little bit less. The problem is your impressions of the characters in the CDI games, they're also accompanied by the animation. So it's the characters that are talking like this, right? They've got all the crazy motions. Why not just make them real characters? Why not use a more stable animation style, which is to say they're not wobbly everywhere, and make it real, like, cool animated cut sequences? Like somebody did like CGI remakes of the cutscenes from Zelda from the CDI games, and they just remade the exact same things. They gave them all the same movements and stuff, and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool, I guess, but why not actually try to make the game good? Like a novel idea, right? Outside the box idea, but why not just try to make the games good? I feel like no one's actually tried to make them good. Everybody's just tried to fix what was there. Doing a party dishes for those licensing for those games being, yeah, but fan, which is probably why I said it. Fans make games all the time, though. Fans do that stuff all the time, and can we? Let me ask you guys something. If somebody popped up and said, "I am 50% of the way through legitimate remakes of the Zelda CDI games," do you think Nintendo would shut them down? Do you think that Nintendo, because to shut them down would have to acknowledge those games, and that's always that's the running gag with those games, is that Nintendo distances themselves from the CDI games. So if somebody was to come out and say, "Listen, I'm making legitimate remakes of the CDI games. It's not going to be campy. It's not going to be hokey. I'm using an entirely new graphics engine. I am making good games." Nintendo would have to acknowledge that those games exist in order for them to say, "Hey, that belongs to us. You can't do that." And there's been remakes of them, so it's not like they get shut down. You know, we have this discussion all the time about Nintendo, but there's been remakes of those games, so it's not like Nintendo is jumping on anybody who tries to do something with them. Yeah, Marcos. Yeah, because that requires Nintendo to acknowledge the CDI, which they actively avoid. So if I put effort into remaking the CDI games legitimately and making actual good games, would Nintendo say something? Do you think they would? And again, I'm not talking about selling them. I'm not talking about putting them on the eShop or anything. I'm saying the same thing that people do with fan games all the time, which is I make a passion project, I create it, and when it's done, I put it online for free. I tell everybody, hey, go check it out. You don't have to sign up to a Patreon to get it early. You don't have to sign up to my website or follow. You don't have to do anything. You just go to the website and you download it. We have games like that. The Zelda, I don't think Nintendo shut down the people that did the Link's Awakening, the Link's Awakening HD. I don't think that Nintendo. I have this Zelda 2, Adventures of Link, like this complete overhaul, and that's a full-blown overhaul of the entire game with a whole bunch of new content. And I just go online and I found it, and it was just there. So it's not like Nintendo. I mean, again, this is what we talked about already. We talk about this all the time. Nintendo doesn't go around looking and shutting down every single thing that has their name on it. They shut down the things that people are trying to make money off of or infringe on their current products. If you were to remake the Zelda CDI games and make them legitimate, Nintendo, I don't think they would say anything. I think they'd be like, yeah, okay, well, whatever. And they would just ignore it, like they have. Nintendo owns Mario porn. Of course they will. Keep the cheesiness, but make the game. See, I don't want. No, Kia, and that's my point. I don't want the cheesiness either. I want some humor. Yes, but I don't want the cheesiness either. There's only so much you can take of my boy Link, right? And the king's all talking, and he's like, the king looks drunk half the time. His wine is spilling out of his cup, and Link, golly, I'm so hungry, I could eat an octopus. Like, that's all fun and that's all humorous. when you're making fun of it. But if you're trying to make a legit game, you want some of that humor, but you don't want it to feel like everything. And that's the problem with with that kind of humor in the CDI games, is that it feels like that's the only thing it has going for it, is that humor. And even that humor is over the top and gets tiring after a while. And to remake them would mean they have to not. Yeah, exactly. Nintendo bought Mario porn to stop it from being released. But you have these other experiences. You have these other games that are straight up complete remakes of Nintendo properties, of Zelda properties that they very much acknowledge, and they haven't said anything. Right? They that Link's Awakening 2D thing, the HD thing, where you could scale out, which is incredible, by the way. I never went back to finish the whole game. Nintendo didn't shut them down, and that's a game that they have a remake of. You know, there's an actual Link's Awakening remake in the stores that you can buy, and they still didn't shut down the other one. Not that I don't think so anyway. Nintendo owns the rights to, the super horny over. Everyone's bringing it up to make sure it never got distributed again. They absolutely would own up to the CDI games if it meant shutting down a fan project. I don't know. I think that there are fan projects out there. Can we acknowledge, because a lot of you brought up the Mario porn thing. Can we agree that that Super Hornio Brothers Mario porn game is fundamentally different from a remake of the CDI games? Can we understand why Nintendo would go after one of those and not the other? When did we suddenly start caring about sales? Before the last 5 years, we never heard sales figures and no one cared. Now that they announced a few, it validates our opinion. I mean, you're right, Lilac. For me, it's just an interesting thing. I think one of the reasons we started acknowledging sales more is just because we worry that is a number that they will influence future games on. You know, these things, we don't care about numbers, but they do. And they use numbers to make decisions about game development. And so that's kind of, when we look at live service games, we look at that rise and kind of fall of live service games, that came from numbers. The rise of live service games and live service experiences, that all came from numbers. That came from sales data, because they looked at games like Fortnite and PUBG, and they saw billion with a B multiple times over and said, yeah, we can do that. And then you got a bunch of experiences that might have actually been cool single player games. Then they became live service games, and now nobody cares about them. I am still of the mind that Exoprimal at some point in its development was considered to be a Dino Crisis game, but they turned it into a live service game. I would say that's why. I would say that the reason we're paying attention to numbers is because we believe that they pay attention to numbers. Super Mario 63 hasn't been taken down yet, to my knowledge. The CDI games became so associated with YTP. Was that YouTube poop? You cannot think about those even if it had a proper remake. Point more is that Nintendo does own up to less savory aspects of their history if it means shutting people down. But my counterpoint to that is that we have tons of examples of Nintendo not shutting people down. We have tons of experiences and games, playable experiences, where Nintendo didn't even go near them. And what's the difference? The difference is one of those was a flat out porn game. So yeah, in that exact example, that's my point. You're right. Nintendo would probably step up and say, listen, we don't want you guys distributing that. We don't want this to be a thing that people know about. But we also have a bunch of stuff that Nintendo lets slide. So what's the difference? Some of those are worse, or they're trying to profit off. Again, this kind of just goes back to the emulation discussion we always have. When you look at the things that Nintendo very strongly goes after, and it's always things that are inappropriate, or things that affect their current bottom line, or things that other people are trying to make money off of. It's always those things. But when you remove all of that, when it's a passion project for a game, for two games that nobody cares about, I question whether or not Nintendo would go near them. Let me go back up. The number doesn't mean much when you change the abbreviation for games, even in the same franchise. Wait, the ABR, ABR. I said abbreviation. Is that supposed to be ABR? I think CDI games are safe for fan remakes in terms of Nintendo not shooting the CAD beams at them. Cease and desist. I saw CAD and I thought that was Canadian money or something. They still might just because it's their legal right to, but I don't think the CDI games are their top priority for shutting fan projects down. And argue we always talked about sales to this kind of degree. They say the last 5 years. Ignore the fact we talked about sales all the time during the PS3, PS4 era, and the Wii and 3DS era, where sales got talked about all the time. I'm gonna take your word for that because I can honestly say that I never really talked about it. I didn't talk about it in the sense of the game came out 2 weeks ago. What are the sales numbers looking like? If I found out about sales numbers, I thought it was interesting. If it crossed certain thresholds, I found that was interesting. And when you got to the end of the year and you were talking about the most popular games, that's probably when I would think about it, unless it came up in some conversation or something. But it was never, hey, the game came out 2 weeks ago, let's look up the sales numbers. So I'll take your word for that, but I will say that my own experience is that, no, I never talked about sales numbers that way. Not to that extreme. Not to be asking, hey, why isn't Sony talking about the sales numbers? If that was always a thing that if Nintendo and Sony didn't say it, I never thought about it. So yeah, I like I said, I'll take your word for it. And obviously your experience is different from everybody else's. My experience is no, we didn't talk about sales numbers that way. Not to this extent. Not to the point where, like I said, 2 weeks after the game came out, we're wondering why we haven't heard anything. I mean, I know it's been longer than 2 weeks, but you see my point. 2 months. Let me say that. Nintendo shuts down projects that make the most noise. How about ROM hacks? How many ROM hacks are there of Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time? There's a lot, but you don't hear anything about them. How many people knew about online multiplayer Smash 64 or randomizers for every N64 game? Yeah, Smash Melee is what's the Melee thing? They never shut that down, right? What's the Melee Project M? Project M been going on for years, and I feel like they've never shut that down. It's selective memory to say we didn't. No, I don't think it's selective memory. I think my experience is that I never cared about sales numbers. It was never my inclination to look up or ask about sales numbers. It never was. Yeah, we just didn't. And again, not everybody. I'm not saying everybody, but for me personally and for my circle of friends, people that have been into video games for a long time, we never got together and said, hey, this game came out a month ago. I wonder what the sales numbers look like. If it came up, we were interested, but we never went looking for it, and we never noticed its absence. To a point I said about, we don't tend to get upset about sales when they could be seen as bad. If this was a positive statement about sales, we'd be talking about what that means for the future. I don't know. I know that there is always a conversation around the sales of video games. I find it as a sort of fascinating thing that comes up, but it's not something that I scrutinize too much. You know, I've said before that there are games where I think they sell really well, and the company says no, it didn't. There are games that I don't think sold really well, and then, you know, I'm not even gonna bring it up. I'm not even gonna say it, but I don't think it was a popular game, and yet people bring up the sales numbers and they say, yeah, well, it sold a lot. It's like, yeah, sort of. You know, I would argue that, and I think a lot of people kind of agree with this. I would argue that sales numbers is a divisive thing. It's a divisive thing that, and you've said this before too, Dragon. It's a divisive thing that if we like the game and it sells a lot, we say, I told you it was good. If we like a game and it doesn't sell a lot, we say there must be a reason. If we don't like a game and it sells a lot, there's got to be a reason for it. And if we don't like a game and it doesn't sell a lot, I told you it was trash. Like we change our sentence for the information at hand. It does, and realistically, we have no idea what it means. Yeah, that we suddenly started to get. The only reason I think that it did become more of a hot. First of all, I think it became more of a hot button topic because there's so many opinions out there. Everything sounds important, right? Everything you can see trending, and trending is going to be Final Fantasy 16 sales. There's 100,000 people talking about 100,000 topics, so everything feels important. When realistically, a good chunk of it, if not most of it, is stuff that we as gamers never cared about. We didn't. We thought it was interesting information to have, but we didn't scrutinize it. We didn't go crazy for it. The reason, like I said earlier, the reason I think that that sales numbers in particular is interesting is because we worry that influences game development, and we talk about that all the time in varying degrees. We talk about how you should buy a game from a franchise because higher sales numbers probably means the developers will make more. The live service example that I brought up earlier, where a big number gets bigger, they make more live service games, and then of course that flatlines, and then that reaches a point where you just can't make anymore, right? There's a point of market saturation, and I think that's also fascinating. Is that where is the point of market saturation? How many live service games can the market support before we can look at the sales data as fact, as hard numbers, and say, yes, there are currently too many people playing too many live service games. Nintendo loathes Melee, but they don't shut it down, right? They don't. If I wanted Project M right now, could I just go and download it? Or do I have to meet a guy in a back alley to grab me a floppy disk with Melee on it, with Project M on it? But I can probably just go to a website and download it, right? It's usually more interesting for beloved games where the sales are not too high, so it might mean it won't get a sequel or continued support. Greg with the pick mid allocations. Ours. It's also a case that companies made a big deal. We started with the Switch versus the PS2 race to the top, and now this is the first generation where we actively get news about weekend sales, monthly sales, etc. And you're right. And AGM, you're kind of right about that. One of the reasons that it became such a big discussion point is because the companies started talking about it. The companies started posting things that said we sold this many and we're on the road to this many. And you do have like Famitsu sales charts and whatnot. You do have those reports that come out every week. So I'm not going to act like the resources for that information was never there, but we just never cared about it. Famitsu sales charts have they've been making Famitsu sales charts since the 90s, I think. Nintendo shuts down every Melee tourney they can find. They have tried to shut down Project M before and a bunch of other online mods. They have tried to shut down Project M, but they haven't. They can't succeed? Or is there no legal precedent for them to do it? Or like, I can understand them shutting down tourneys. Like, I think I wish that they wouldn't. But again, I could understand them shutting down tourneys because the money aspect. You know, I said earlier, if there's money involved, Nintendo's going to pay attention to it. Oh, they shut down Project M when it gets used at events. Grab a floppy in a back alley. Go get your 97,000 hard disks for Cyberpunk. Yeah, if Speak With Your Wallet was actually active, then we would officially say WB is tone deaf. Technically, no, because Nintendo has made it difficult for the community. They mostly shut down events, but there's reasons why Project M has actually changed names. Oh, has it changed? I didn't know that it actually changed names. I didn't know that there was like that Project M was like a rotating thing. Sales and seen as bad is a positive statement. Sales. You're talking about what that means for the future. We Nintendo are taking down this Zelda CDI remake due to not having own permissions. So that means you acknowledge the Zelda CDI, the CDI, the what? The CDI, the console, the Zelda games are on. That was never a thing. Yeah, they would have to do that. They would have to acknowledge that those games exist, and they would have to acknowledge that they own that IP and those elements of that IP, because obviously they own the IP of The Legend of Zelda. But they would have to acknowledge that they own the elements of that IP. And they're just not doing anything with it. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Just on my last comment, I said online multiplayer is Mario 64, not Smash. Nintendo definitely hates older Smash or Smash modifications. So maybe it's Smash specifically that they have a problem with. Crisis Core Reunions, I have it. I have Reunion on PS5. PS5. I'm bringing conversation back about. Bit of a hot take. For the Zelda game, but I want the cheesiness. I'd rather a cheesy game for variety over a dime a dozen kind of funny but serious game. I don't know. I would rather for the CDI games in particular, I would rather they try. That's been one of my gripes with Zelda is that I feel like there are some interesting ideas for what you can do with the Zelda world, and they never do. You know, and I know I'm gonna catch flack for this one, but it's always Link, it's always Zelda, it's always Ganon, it's always Hyrule. Everybody always has the same roles in the story. We never go anywhere else. We never do anything else, right? We went to Majora's Mask. Okay, that's great. You know, and there are obviously things that we've done there. You know, we had the Wind Waker Island or whatever. But you had this whole like Link Between Worlds is the one that kind of bothers me because I feel like you had an interesting thing there. You had an interesting subset of characters. You had Hilda. You had Ravio. What was the name? Ravio. That universe is Link. And I feel like there was stuff you could do there. I felt like that was interesting. And they'll never do it. They'll never do anything with it. So I look at the Zelda CDI games and I see everybody sees the hookiness. Everybody sees the cheesiness and the crappy animation. You know, forgive me, animators that did that work, but you know, it's funny because it's bad. I look at everybody sees that stuff, and what I see a new place for our characters to go to, new roles for them to play, an entirely new cast of NPCs that are very, very interesting and very unique, an entirely new world that you can experience that is completely unfamiliar to, like, I see so much that you can do with the CDI games, and all anybody sees is let's remake the absurdity. It's like, God, I want to make a new game. I want to make a good game with a good world that I'd want to come back to. Yeah, a lot of the Zelda spin-offs go to separate places. Yeah, I guess they do. Like the Oracle games, I don't remember where the Oracle games were. You have Windfish Island. Obviously you have Majora's Mask, you have Termina, but you know, again, Termina's like one that we never went back to. You know, but most everything else is a variation of Hyrule. Less tone, but I'd like new villains and worlds, and they were there. The CDI games had a new world and new villains, and you could have done something interesting with them. You still can. Technically, the Philips games with Nintendo. I think because those are technically Philips games with Nintendo's licensing, the ones with the final call is Philips. And why would Philips reject money? Why? On a futuristic modern day Zelda, but Nintendo is full of cowards. Isn't that just Earthbound? I don't know about the older games, but I think they hate Smash because specifically Ultimately isn't an in-house made game. It's made by Bandai Namco. Nintendo hates Smash in general. It seems it sells too well to not stop making them. No, I don't know. I don't know. The one thing I would say about Smash, as far as like, if let's say Nintendo had some problem, like, because I think what would the problem be? Like, why would Nintendo hate Smash if they love money? I feel like Smash. This is gonna sound strange. I feel like tonally, Nintendo games have an audience. In general, not specific games. I feel like there's an audience that likes Nintendo games, you know? I feel like Smash is the one franchise that they have that brings in what often feels like a different group of people. Even if it's not true, because it's probably not true. But I feel like I feel like Nintendo thinks that Smash fans are not Nintendo fans. And so maybe that's why they seem to behave differently around Smash. Because they don't do that with Mario Kart. Because you like, people say that, oh well, they hate competitive scenes, but they don't hate Mario Kart. They don't hate Splatoon, and Splatoon can be pretty toxic. So what is it about Smash? And I think that maybe it's because Smash has a fan base that they don't feel like are Nintendo fans. They're just Smash fans. They're here for Smash, and they don't care about anything else. Vaati and Majora are great villains. Yeah, and where are they again? And where are they? And that's my gripe with Zelda as a franchise, or Nintendo's treatment of Zelda as a franchise, is that you have these interesting characters. You know, where let's go back to Termina. Where's Vaati? Where's it's the other one. I always get Vaati mixed up with the other one. Oh my god, I can't think of his name. Yeah, they brought Vaati back for Four Swords. A side game. Well, a cool side game, by the way. I always wanted to play that for the stream too. Who's the other one that I'm trying to think of? The clown guy with the tongue. That's not Vaati. That's somebody else. I don't give a Fans are receptive about change. Take other M. Slightly weird example due to its tone. Federation Force. They tried different in those places, and fans said, "We don't want new. We want what we like." I would argue that that's a little bit different because we were also in the midst of a drought. We were also in the midst of a really long Metroid drought, and the only thing that we got in the middle of that drought was something that felt extremely different in a lot of different ways. It wasn't just gameplay. I don't think Other M was particularly a bad game, but it was a bad Metroid game. It was not anywhere near like gameplay wise. It was very different. Tone wise, I'd argue that it was kind of similar. But then you had like the character assassination of Samus, right? You had a different. It almost felt like a different version of Samus that was not as interesting in the slightest way whatsoever. So I won't get into the Metroid thing, but I do feel like the Other M and Federation Force stuff was more that was more frustration over the fact that the franchise hadn't done anything, and then when it did something ridiculous. You know, I don't know. It was like it's like they found out you were starving, so they brought you water. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, wait, okay. Link's Awakening, Oracle Games, Majora's Mask, Phantom Hourglass, Minish Cap, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks is like the same world, right? Though that one's Minish Cap is still technically, and they're all still technically Hyrule. That's the one. I'm. What are the Zelda games that went to places that are not Hyrule? They're not the version of Hyrule that we know. That the land is completely not Hyrule. Majora's Mask, the CDI games. What'd you say there? Phantom Hourglass. That's still Hyrule though, right? Because that's the Wind Waker world. So that's still technically Hyrule. Even if it's a different version of Hyrule, it's still Hyrule. Link's Awakening, the Oracle games, I think were somewhere else. Majora's Mask, and that's it, right? Link Between Worlds is Hyrule. That's still Hyrule. Even if you warp to another plane or something, the game is still Hyrule. Link's Awakening, Majora's Mask, Triforce Heroes, Was Triforce Heroes not Hyrule? Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks was a different world too. The Oracle games, Tingle's Cursed game. Phantom Hourglass is an illusion similar to Majora's Mask and Link's Awakening, but it is Hyrule. That's why it's still high. That's what I'm saying. The land that it takes place in is still technically Hyrule, even if it's a fantasy version of it. Link's Awakening is not Hyrule at all. It is Windfish Island. Majora's Mask is not Hyrule at all. It is Termina. The other ones are still fantasy versions of Hyrule. Oh, Triforce Heroes is... Wait, Triforce Heroes is not very Hyrule? No, it's Lorule. And then Bosman and Ganondorf are overused. I love them both, but give them a rest. Oh, that's the thing. Smash is fighting game fans. They're used to doing things themselves and being grassroots as far as the tournament scene and the likes go. Meanwhile, Nintendo just wants it all shut down and doesn't work with the fans at all about it like Namco or Capcom do for the fighting game, which I do agree. Yeah, they're not really good with that. Look at how Mario Kart and Splatoon championships Nintendo is hosting, yet there's no Smash. Yeah, and that's kind of why I brought it up, is that because I've heard people say that Nintendo hates the tournament scene. It's like, no, I don't think they hate the tournament scene. I think they just don't like the Smash Brothers scene. And that's kind of probably why it is that I question whether or not they view Smash fans as Nintendo fans. Which is a very weird thing to say, but I don't know. It sounds right in my head, right? I'd argue that Phantom Hourglass isn't Hyrule because they imply that Link and Tetra set sail to a different part of the world before the Dream World. Okay, so you're right. So Phantom Hourglass, it takes place in the same universe as Wind Waker, but you're right. They do leave to go do something else. So that you could argue that that's not Hyrule. Cuz Termina supposedly takes place in the same world, but it's just not in the actual land of Hyrule. Never joke about it. Smash community has pulled so many controversies. I mean serious and legal controversies. I wouldn't trust them managing things like Capcom and Bandai. I mean, you're not wrong there. There has been a lot of there's been a lot of controversy, but I mean, we talked about this before with Nintendo when it comes to Smash, where if the problem is the behavior of the tournament scene, then the solution is to run the tournament scene yourself. It is. You know, the Mario Kart stuff and the Splatoon stuff are very closely managed by Nintendo. They are Nintendo events when you go to. They're not at EVO. They are Nintendo events where they hold those tournaments. They could do that with Smash, and they don't. And I find that fascinating because yes, if you want to curb that behavior, if you want to filter who comes into those tournaments, and you want to filter out the controversy, you can do it. They can do it. They have the resources to do it, and they don't. And we know that they can do it because they do it with other tournaments. They do it with at least two other games, and they tried to do it with ARMS. Because I think they did have an ARMS tournament when it first came out. But they don't try to do it with Smash. And I do find that fascinating. I don't think they didn't work with them. Because even that big Smash event where Nintendo took them down the day of the event, it came out that Nintendo spent the entire time trying to work with them and they refused to budge. It's wrong to act like Nintendo doesn't try to work. But I don't mean work with them. I mean do it themselves. Nintendo doesn't, as far as I understand, if Nintendo works with anybody for those Splatoon tournaments, they're still running the show. If anybody's helping them with that, that's secondary. Nintendo Splatoon tournaments are Nintendo events. So why are there not Nintendo events for Smash Brothers? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And you can't say they don't have the resources. They're a bajillion-dollar company. Yeah, it's fascinating to me. It's interesting that they don't want to touch it. And I think it's because, kind of like AGM said, where there's a lot of controversy. I think it's because maybe they don't want to be anywhere near that. But the way you get rid of it is to do it yourself. And that way you can filter that stuff out. You can have control over it. What sparked this discussion? I have no idea. I never know. I'll watch back through the VOD and figure it out. They tried to do that. The community said, we don't like how you're doing. How dare you? Well, then the community, then the community doesn't like it and they move on and they still do their own thing. But Nintendo could still do it. And for everybody that said, we don't like how you're doing and how dare you, I guarantee you there were people that said, this is great. I'm happy Nintendo's doing this. I'm happy they're embracing it more. You don't throw it all out for a handful of people that are not happy about it. If they want to do it, they can do it. That's the bottom line. If they want to do it, they can do it. You can come up with a bunch of reasons why other people won't like it, but the reality is, if Nintendo wanted to have a tournament scene around Smash Brothers, they have the resources and they should have the drive to do it themselves. They can. They just don't. And that's what I find interesting. Kind of on Nintendo's bad. They want to play. They want. Topic is they should let me play how I want. I don't think the community is the victims they think they are. Nintendo's actually made several attempts at running Smash tournaments, and due to the continued controversy, Nintendo said it's not worth it. When? I don't remember Nintendo running a Smash tournament. Not the way they run Splatoon tournaments and Mario Kart events. I don't remember them running a big Smash event. Which doesn't really say much because it's not like I follow that scene that closely. Yeah, because Smash players don't want to play by the rules that Nintendo sets. Well, then I don't know. Ronan, and again, I still don't think that's everybody. I don't think that's there's no way you can tell me that they hold a Smash Brothers tournament, 200 people show up, they set the rules, and 200 people walk out the door. You can't possibly convince me that every single person that would participate in a Smash event saw a rule. And here's my question. This is probably a legitimate question for me to ask. What didn't they like about it? There you go. That's a good question. You guys are saying that people didn't like what Nintendo was doing. What was Nintendo doing that they didn't like? Did they not like the rule set? Did they not like the fact that they couldn't curse and throw a fit and carry on? Like what did Smash, what did they want to do? Items were on. That was it? Was that really it? That it was the rule sets and they had items on? There's no way that's true. Poor prizes. That's an issue. Rule sets and legalizing weird stages. Well, yeah, because they want everything to be on. Items on, final smashes on, all stages are playable with hazards. And they hated the TOS, like the limitation of prize money and how the tournament needs to be organized because people running the business didn't want to share. All right, so I'll give you that. Because I was almost in a Mario Kart tournament one time, and I didn't like the fact that the items were off. So I would give you that. I just think Nintendo fans need to communicate better when it comes to competitive Smash. Not every Smash player has a I'd argue that most Smash players don't have a controversy. People like to think about that. They like to hear, oh, this player had a controversy, and this player had a controversy, and that player had a controversy. And then, all right, but what about the 3,000 people in that community that don't have a controversy? Basically, they didn't want 20 rules because they want people to play the game their way and not listening to how fans play the game and be competitive. Items in certain stages are inherently uncompetitive. I would argue that items aren't. Certain stages in Smash Brothers specifically, I would say, yeah. I don't know. I've always defended items to an extent. I understand that there's a randomization nature to the items, but I feel like for something like Smash Bros, you probably it does feel more tournament-like to not have the items on, but it's funny because something like Mario Kart, for instance, turning the items off feels less like Mario Kart. And I question whether or not there's people that say that about Smash Bros. I think that there's people that would probably say, yeah, Smash Bros without items doesn't feel like Smash Bros to them. Yeah, fans didn't like that mindset. Um, yeah, if certain stages aren't competitive, I call it a skill issue. I wouldn't even say certain stages. Because the stages, I think that the stages do vary enough for it to create issues depending on who you're picking. But if you know the stage ahead of time, that's the thing. I think random stages is probably an issue. But if you know the stage ahead of time, I feel like you could customize your gameplay specifically. Stage hazards to me, I think is inherently non-competitive. I think that's too much of a randomization. Items pop up at random and can change the tide of battle. Therefore, it's uncompetitive. That's why Street Fighter doesn't have random. Well, I mean, but Street Fighter never had that. Street Fighter, for that argument, Ryan, we start to slide into the conversation of it never had it, so it shouldn't. Smash Brothers always had items, so should they be there? Mario Kart always had items, but so you wouldn't think of if you tried to remove items from Mario Kart tournaments, they would say Mario Kart has always had items. So you could say that about Smash Bros. You could say that Smash Bros. Always had items. So removing them from a tournament seems odd. It for some people, it probably doesn't feel like Smash if you don't have the items. And that's just an opinion of play. That's just an opinion of how people play the game. People can be petty is more accurate. It's a sad fact of life. All I'm saying is if you think the only reason you lost is because you don't know how to play on poke floats, you suck. You have to play the I don't know. That's an interesting sort of thing. Is this like Smash Brothers has always had items. So why is it that tournaments without items should be preferred by or should be the order of the day? But if you did a Mario Kart game without items, that's absurd. It doesn't feel like Mario Kart that way. I don't know. I agree with that. I kind of agree. And bear in mind, I'm somebody who, when we do community days, sometimes I turn the items on and sometimes I turn them off. I like having a variety. That's probably my biggest argument. I would argue that if there is a community of people that want items off and Final Destination stages, I would argue that there should be 2 brackets. I would say that there should be multiple brackets for that. There should be random open, right? Where it's random stages or it's varied stages and items. Items probably set to low. I think items set to low is a little bit more competitive with Final Smashes, and then for fun and for glory, right? If you made a for fun tournament rule set and a for glory tournament rule set, I think that Nintendo could have a big giant tournament event that everybody wins. Everybody's happy. To be fair, how many times do we get carded because unfair items make us go from 2nd to 11th in 5 seconds flat? Very often. But I would argue that that's part of the game. I would argue that that's part of the experience of that game. Because if you take items out of Mario Kart, it's just Gran Turismo. It's Gran Turismo. It becomes and there's still skill involved, right? If you take items out of Mario Kart, there's still skill involved. You have to know which cart works best for you. You have to know which setup works best for you. You have to optimize how you play the game. You have to know all of the shortcuts. You have to be really good at drifting. There is still a multitude of skill sets that you would have to be good at in order to play Mario Kart competitively without items. And yet, most people would say keep the items in because it doesn't feel like Mario Kart without them. That's what I would say. Oh, why do we need multiple rule sets for one tournament? Lots of tournaments do different things like that. Lots of tournaments do different rule sets. They have different setups. So and some of them are taken more seriously than others. If you did that, for instance, at a Smash Brothers event where you had a for fun tournament and a for glory tournament, I would argue that more people would join the for glory tournament, but you'd still have people that join the for fun. Yeah, I think a lot of I think there's a lot of competitive things out there, not even just video games. I think there's a lot of competitive things out there that have multiple rule set, like brackets. But that's not a skill issue. There's nothing I can do about lightning and blue shells like that. That's why items are banned in competitive Smash. I don't know. I think we agree to disagree on this one, because I do think there are things that you can do. There's no item in Smash Bros that you can grab and you automatically win. There is not a single item in that game that if you grab it, everybody else might as well put the controller down. You won. Every item in that game. First of all, the most competitive thing is to just get the item first. Sorry. Gus Bellows. Gus Bellows, no. Beetle item, no. If you're low enough percentage, you shake out of the beetle item. Gus Bellows, jump and avoid it. Yes, it does. If you get hit with it right in the right spot, it does kind of suck, and it's hard to get out of it. Yeah, item spawns right on top of the player. Oops. Yeah, but what happens when that item spawns on top of you? What happens when the player is you that it spawns on top of, and you get the kill? You're not gonna grab the Gus Bellows and throw it away and say, "Well, I don't believe in this item, so I'm not gonna use it." You're gonna use it. Everybody's gonna use it. Everybody's got the same percentage. Yeah, I don't know. I maybe this is why I'm not in a tournament scene, because everybody, like you guys are saying, everybody wants to play their way, and I guess my way is just I kind of want to see what everybody does. Blue shell. You can dodge a blue shell in Smash. You can dodge a blue shell. If you perfect dodge right before the shell hits you, you don't get hit. There is not a single item that automatically results in a win or even a kill in Smash. Every one of those items has some sort of counter. There are multiple items that give you free KOs in Smash. The only one that, which one? What item, if that spawns and you grab it, you automatically get kills? You can't say the flag, right? You can't say the flag because you have to stand there and charge up the flag for like 5 seconds or something. So any good player is gonna be able to hit you. And granted, that's also like 4-player Smash. Yeah, item and no items is a totally different meta. Gus Bellows are just an instant KO because you can't recover since it lasts way too long. It's a busted item. So then adjust the timing for the item, or maybe, I mean, we can turn items off, right? We can turn off specific items, so maybe we can do that. I feel like, and that's another thing, is that I feel like there's this items versus no items, and no one's actually asking, well, can we just turn some of them off? All right, the Gus Bellows is a little. I would agree. The Gus Bellows is pretty overpowered compared to the rest of the items. Can we just turn the Gus Bellows off? Can we have a discussion about that? I've argued that I think that it would be interesting if even in the more competitive tournaments where they have all of that stuff turned off, I would argue that the Smash Ball is still an item that should show up, because I think that's more interesting. Right? You have to fight to get it. It's a one-time use. There's usually only one per game. I would argue that the Smash Ball is a cool item to have in a competitive scene. Sure, it's random in the sense that it appears in a random position and then floats around, but random means you're just as likely to get it as the other person. We're looking for a game? Not yet. I have an idea of what we're gonna do. Last time Nintendo attempted to do an event themselves, the community came out and said, "We refuse to do that. You're wrong." Started to go after people who didn't want to go, who did want to go to the event or attend. People complained they were being threatened, and Nintendo said it's not worth it. Which, to be fair, it is not Nintendo's fault. That's everybody else's. So in that situation, you wanna start arguing about the fans that do that sort of thing. Hammer, no, because I've seen people die from the hammer plenty of times. Not to mention you have that thing where it's either a squeak hammer or the top of the hammer comes off, because even that's not 100% item. Plus, you can't control yourself. So if you grab the item or you get hit or something and you fly off, you just die. You die with the hammer. Some Pokeballs, no, not all of them are guaranteed. None of those things. Some assists, trophies, final smash. Not the only thing that I would say is that some of the final smashes are disproportionately stronger than other Final Smashes. That's what I would say. Some of them do, yes, some of them do result in instant kills. That's the only thing that I would say. But if the only item was a Smash Ball, you wouldn't pick your character based on the chance that the Smash Ball appears and the chance that you get it. I find no item smash or no item Mario Kart boring. If you want that, play another fighter or racer. Part of what makes them special is the items. Ban the broken items. You don't have to turn them all off. There's a very clear middle ground here. Is that you can have items that feel competitive and enhance the competitive experience without turning them all off. It's not all or nothing. And you shouldn't want it to be all or nothing because Nintendo has clearly said, all right, then it's nothing. I don't know. I'm fine with it. Scree camera always makes me burst into laughter. It does. But bomb spawns on top of me. I get a free KO weapon that turns into a game of keep away and stops the actual fighting. You can have your counterpoint, but I just disagree. Ryan, is that any different than a fighting game where it's the last match and I have to win and I'm up on health, so I start running away from my opponent and I'm not fighting them and I don't want to engage in them because I don't want to run the risk of losing health? Is that any different? You can do that in a fighting game. You take any fighting game, any Guilty Gear or anything like that, and if I'm up on health and all I have to do is time out and win the round, I just run away from the person, and I play annoying and I turtle, right? Fighting games, people turtle, they hide in a corner, or they block the whole time, and obviously there's mechanics to stop that, but that sort of behavior in specific situations is not exclusive to Smash Brothers. Every fighting game has people that do stuff like that. No fighting games play like Smash, and there aren't many kart racers like Mario Kart anymore, at least in quality. I find items off more interesting because it's all skill based. Now, oops, I got the best item in the game. I don't know. I don't think that there's an item in the game that makes you win. I just don't. And no one here has been able to give me an example of an item that you get and you just win and you win the round. You can't guarantee a getaway in traditional fighting games. You can't guarantee a getaway in Smash either. I don't know. We'll just agree to disagree. Yeah, Gus Bellows. I still don't think that I still think that the Gus Bellows is not as OP as everybody thinks. And again, all right, then turn it off. All right, we've just saw there's literally a mechanic built into the game where you can turn off the items. Let's turn off the Gus Bellows. What else we got? The blue shell, you can dodge it. The bombs, you can dodge them. What? You're not gonna say like the Daybreaker or the thing, the Falcon thing, whatever the hell it is. You got to get 3 parts for that to work. Why can't you keep some of the items and not just turn them off completely? Yeah, I've avoided guys the Gus Bellows in games before. Yeah, I've done it. We've done it here. People get the Gus Bellows and it's like, oh my God, he's got the Gus Bellows, and then you start jumping around like a maniac and you avoid them. Yeah, there are no instant win items. There isn't a single item in that game that you can't counter. There's not an item that you pick up and it nukes the screen and you get a kill for every person on the screen. It just doesn't. It's just I don't know how many ways to say that does not exist. That does not exist. You could argue that some items are unbalanced, but nothing is an instant win. The Dragoon. That's the other thing. Yeah. You can dodge that too. Actually, I actually do. I have dodged the Dragoon. And I usually sucker the Dragoon out by trying to grab a ledge right before the Dragoon hits, and that gives you invulnerability, and it flies right through you.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Ryan, I get what you're trying to say, but I disagree because your example is situational. You have, like you said, it has to spawn. It has to spawn near. It has to spawn near the other player, and you have to be off the stage for that to work. That's a whole situation that you have created for that one item to be dominant. But if you're not in that situation, if the item spawns on you, or it spawns on them, if you're not off the stage, like if that situation isn't exactly like it's described, it's not an instant kill. It's just not. This is equivalent of my. Competitive players can experiment with the items to see specifically which one. Yeah, and Kia, what's crazy is if suddenly they said that items were turned on, that's what you would have. You would have tons of competitive players who were now labbing the items to figure out which ones are the most broken. How can they avoid them? What are the best strategies around them? You have tons of people labbing for that. Isn't that fun? Isn't that what people like to do? Isn't that why games like King of Fighters 13 and Guilty Gear have 100 mechanics? Because people like when there's a crap load of mechanics and stuff to do. That's one of the reasons I didn't really play Guilty Gear as much as everybody else did, because it felt like there were like 5 different kinds of cancels, and my brain just couldn't wrap around all of that. I don't know. I think that the games are supposed. Yeah, people like experimentation. The games are supposed to be varied. They're supposed to be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Guilty Gear's mechanics are not RNG. No, but I just mean that there's a lot of mechanics. Ronan, I just mean that there's a lot that you have to experiment with to figure out how it all works. That's what I mean. And if you turn items on, if you turn a good chunk of the items on in Smash Brothers, it would be the same exact thing. It would just be a bunch of mechanics that you need to now learn. You need to understand why those things work. I mean, even character matchups, right? Let's say no items, final destination, no final smashes. Don't you still have to go through all of the character combinations and figure out which characters work best against which other characters, which moves, how to dodge every move, right? Don't the best fighters know every move that everybody does so they understand how to avoid them? You still have a ton of stuff to do. And people like that. Around Nintendo force items at a tournament and everyone agree to never touch them. I mean, that would be cool. Wow, there you go, Ryan. There's another solution. What if the fans don't want to use them? What if the fans just don't use them? Why in the tournament scene was that never brought up? Why didn't everybody decide to? All right, what homie stocks? Right, the player falls off by accident or something and dies. You fall off too, and you trade a stock. It's like sportsmanship. So where's that discussion in the whole scene? Stuff that spawns randomly. You can turn the tide of battle with any skill involved, which is why they're inherently banned at tournaments. I don't know, because then I use it as a skill. Oh yeah, why wouldn't I take advantage? And what do Guilty Gear, King of Fighters, those games have in common? Low RNG. Flip. Yeah, me too, Flip. I need one of those too. Sure, some items are powerful, but both players have an equal chance of having them. Yeah, both players have an equal chance of having them spawn near them. Both players have an equal chance of dodging them. Yeah, it's doesn't really. I don't think it's this unwinnable experience to have them in the game. Having even some probably make more characters even more competitive. Characters with reflex or catches, like Villager would have a better place. Then that changes the meta. See, Dragoon, that starts. Now you're getting into the meta. Now you're getting into the situation of, all right, well, which character works best? Which people already do. Let's be honest here. No items, final destination. no final smashes, that already creates a meta. That is a rule set that will benefit some characters more than others. It already does that. It will benefit some characters more than others. Some characters have better recoveries that are built into them than others. So when you talk about a stage like that, Little Mac, for instance, immediately becomes less playable than a lot of other characters because their recovery sucks. Little Mac's recovery versus Villager's recovery are vastly different. So in that setting, one of them is already more OP than the other one. So how do you overcome it? You learn how to play with that weakness in mind. Yeah, the meta exists because you're only supposed to play one way. So the idea of, well, the items create a different meta is there's already a meta. Right? The meta is the same exact thing that it always is in every other video games. It is people sitting down with calculators figuring out which number is the highest. What is the maximum way to do damage with the maximum movement that you're allowed to do? That's the meta. It's always the meta. Which gun shoots the fastest and does the most damage? Which sword? Which attack? Which a set of attacks? It's always like that. There's always going to be an optimal way to play the game. And not make Steve Busted. It's not unwinnable. It's unbalanced, and there's nothing to do with the characters. Items are outside factors that have nothing to do with the characters or stages, which you could argue is kind of better. You could argue that that's a good thing. Said earlier, Smash is the items. The fun Smash comes from the unique RNG items. Otherwise, a very subpar arcade fighter with Nintendo characters, at which stage it becomes boring. Which, that's opinion-based, because some people, obviously we're talking about this because some people like no items more than they like items. So that's definitely an opinion-based thing. But yeah, it's just, you're not wrong in the sense that, like I said, if you turned items off in Mario Kart a lot, I think there'd be a lot more people that said this doesn't feel like Mario Kart. This is an inherently different game. Mario Kart is an inherently different game without items. Smash is the same way. It's just in the tournament scene, they like that game more. It's kind of hard stance we're seeing. That's why we shouldn't be shocked when we say why did and yeah, look at all this. It's like even within here, even within here where we're being civil with each other, there is a lot of pushback in both directions. Now, what does Nintendo see when people aren't being civil? When they're cursing at each other and they're screaming at each other and God forbid they're using a lot of slurs at each other, right, or something, because they're unhappy with the situation. I would wash my hands of it too. I would say, yeah, I don't want to do this. If this is who's going to show up, I don't want them here. Darkest not better because it's not skill, it's random. But for some people, that's better. For some people, that ridiculousness, that randomness is better. That's why I say this is opinion based. This is whether or not it. Once you start asking whether or not it's better in that regard, that's an opinion situation. Imagine if Faust and Guilty Gear, the RNG character, had an instant I win button. I could get 1% of the time by doing a certain input. It's inherently unfair because there's no skill involved. That's why all Faust normals are mid, and his RNG moves are more about positioning than damage based. If you were to put items in competitive scene, we would never truly know who the best is because it wouldn't be skill based. We'd know who the best is because it'd be the person that wins. That's how it works. We would know who the best is because somebody would win, and that's it. And that there's no other because what happens in no items, final destination, no final smashes. What happens when somebody wins? Oh well, it was because the character matchup was bad. Oh well, this person, they were having an off day. Oh, there's a whole bunch of reasons. Very rarely, not very rarely. I would say that most of the time, they sit down and they say, yeah, they're good. They were just better. Making death threats to cancel Nintendo events because some guy didn't like when Nintendo was doing an event. Yeah, I would not have events either. RNG also helps keep things tense. Imagine you're losing 4 stocks to nothing. In most other fighters, that's it. The odds of pulling back are near impossible. With items and Smash, there's always a chance right up to the final moments. A very unbalanced game is the quickest way to kill a competitive scene, especially if it's heavily RNG based. If the game is balanced around RNG, that's fine. However, items by design are not balanced around the game. The fact that there is a chance of an item to spawn next to you is already unbalanced. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I said this for like the 30th time. Agree to disagree, but the balance isn't the balance the randomness? Doesn't the randomness of it kind of balances it out? Because everybody's thinking about this unbalanced aspect of items as if the opponent's going to get it instead of them, but you could also get it too. So doesn't that balance it out? Isn't the randomness of items in Mario Kart, doesn't that play into it? The person that's in first could get a green shell or a red shell or a mushroom or a coin. Doesn't that change the dynamic of a lot of that? Actually, I think you can get triple shells if you're in first. Like, isn't that a randomized aspect that changes your ability to play the game and the potential outcome? Especially if you're in the last lap, right? If you're in the last lap and you're in first place and you get a horn or you get a triple shell or something, you are significantly in a better position to win. Items cause tons of situations where skill is irrelevant. You got lucky, the good item spawned. But what if you got lucky is what I'm saying. Yeah, I know. Listen. I get it. I get it. I'm not a tournament guy. You guys have apparently some of you guys are like hardcore tournament, and it has to be. But that's it's sort of the problem is like it has to be a certain way. I get it. I feel like there's I feel like there's an answer here, and I feel like nobody wants to meet in the middle and find the answer. It either has to be super serious, where the game is 100% skill based, absolutely no randomization allowed whatsoever, or it has to be the random wacky experience that we all grew up with. And nobody wants to stand in the middle. Nobody wants to say, well, let's have items, but let's talk about balancing the items. Let's have final smashes and talk about that. Let's have random stages, or let's have all of the stages, but we find a solution to make some of them work. Like, nobody wants to meet in the middle here. It's all or nothing. Sean, thank you so much. In the hunt with a tier 1 subscribe for 77 months. 77 months of stream. Actually, 78 months, that I think technically, right? Didn't we figure that out? Didn't we figure out that it was like a month after I started? For sure, competition might not be that visible and can be skewed. But if I got lucky in the OP items, I wouldn't feel good but that's different. That now at that point, now you're talking about your personal opinions on what's happening. And again, you could always just throw the item. If you got a Gus Bellows and you feel like I don't want to win with a Gus Bellows, it's up to you if you want to chuck the item. But nobody wants to have that discussion. It's not your responsibility. It's not you personally, but it's not the player's responsibility. It's Nintendo's responsibility. Nintendo hates competitive Smash because they added the Gus Bellows. Is kind of like what I'm hearing. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Is that really what's happening? If we're talking competitive, you can't have RNG. If you're playing for fun, RNG is fine. Bypass responsibility altogether and just get rid of the item. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna let it go because there's no winning. Religion, politics, and items in Smash Bros. It's like the 3 things you can't discuss because nobody wants to budge on their position. Nobody wants to even remotely entertain the idea of a tournament without items or a tournament with items. Like if everybody has what they think people should do, and then they don't want to entertain anything. anything else. Yeah, gaming politics in a nutshell. Yeah, we have multiple we have multiple categories. There are multiple games out there that have multiple categories, and no one is suggesting that we have two categories. No one's asking why you can't have Mario Kart with items and Mario Kart without items. No one's asking why Smash Brothers you can't have Smash Brothers with items and without items. Everybody is saying it either has to be this or it has to be this, and nobody wants to budge. So you know what happened? So you know what Nintendo does? Nintendo takes their ball and they go home. And nobody gets to play. There you go. That's it. That's the solution. So about those bearers. Yeah. Nobody wants to budge. It's wild. It's wild that that's like that. And I get it. And like I said, I understand. Just having this conversation here, if I owned Smash Brothers, I would never own I would never run a tournament ever again. It says lazy for not listening to fans don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. They're the ones taking the ball and going home, not the fans. I mean, yeah. If that would be, like I said, if you want to have two categories, that's Nintendo's responsibility. That's Nintendo's responsibility. As long as they get their item rule set, they're fine. Maybe. Hang on one second. Yeah, I don't know. I also feel like I've seen a lot of behavior from a lot of groups recently that prove that no, they don't know how to handle it civilly. You know, there are a lot of situations where people say, yeah, they're people are not going to be like do oh crap, I'm still playing this. Hang on. I was playing Unicorn Overlord. I think I have to finish that fight. Like, do you think people would be civil? Can I ask you seriously? Like, I hate to continue to I'm getting the game set. I think I want to try those Super Nintendo games, the ones that came out on the eShop today or yesterday. I only played a little bit of Super R-Type. I didn't try the other game. Like, I've never even played the other game, so I kind of want to try those out. But to be really quick for the last point of discussion, if Nintendo did that, if Nintendo held a tournament and they said there's going to be two rule sets, there's going to be two brackets, and it's going to be items and final smashes and random stages or different stages. They would still call out the stage, but like you're not going to pick random for the stage and then wherever you get is where you get. There'll be a schedule for the stages. Random items on low and final smashes, right? No smash ball. It'll be the smash bar. You have to fill up the bar. And another bracket that was traditional rules, right? Final destination, no items, no final smashes. Do you really think that everybody would be very civil about it? Or do you think that there'd be one group insulting and even threatening and bullying another group? Honestly, I feel like there'd be a lot of negative toxic behavior. I feel like there'd be a ton of toxic behavior around it. Give me civil. Smash Bros. Can't. That's my problem. Is that sure? Okay, let's say Nintendo does actually offer both. Can anybody expect for them to be for the players to be civil about it? I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And I don't mean to be that way. Obviously, we have Smash players here, and I don't mean to categorize everybody, but or group everybody into a category, but I don't see it. I feel like the potential for toxicity is too high, and Nintendo wouldn't want to do it. Smash out. Oh, we I don't know. We spiraled off into some weird topic. Feel like having two brackets is a great idea. I have a secondary bracket, literally hurts nobody. And if you think it hurts you, I'm sorry that it hurts you. You know.
Yeah. Another one of those black hole debates, sadly. Yeah, it's just not gonna go anywhere because the only solution would be to actually try something, and Nintendo's not gonna try. They're on that. I think we can all agree that the solution here is to try something, and Nintendo's just not going to try it. They're not gonna bother. All right. So. Okay. I had a wire that was moving. This kid, they tried many times. The current stance is a result of that. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I think I need to. Let me see where I am in this fight here. Hold on. Oh my god.
Let me.
Wait, why is it so loud? All right. Oh, because I had to have it turned up for Final Fantasy 16. What are we doing? So I want to try out these Super Nintendo games. Last night Nintendo dropped randomly at 9 p.m. Eastern 3 games on the Super Nintendo app. So I want to give those a shot because I didn't play 2 of them. The problem is I'm in the middle of this fight here. Can I save right here? Can I save mid-fight? Yeah, I should be saved right there. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, so we're good there. Unless you just wanted to see the end of that. I can't wait for Aiden Chronicles. That was Unicorn Overlord, by the way. This game's incredible. I am very much enjoying Unicorn Overlord. It has a lot of the things that I'm very, very happy with. It's definitely a unique battle engine, which I think is awesome. It works very well. There's a lot of stuff that is very customizable. Just overall, just a fantastic experience. All right, give me 1 second here. Let me change these. It looks like Bravely Default and Fire Emblem. Well, it's a strategy game, but it's not like either one of those. It's Bravely Default's more like a standard turn-based RPG. This is probably closer to that. Well, no, it's definitely somewhere in the middle. And Fire Emblem is your traditional strategy RPG with the individual characters and you move them around. This is kind of like you put together groups. I'll go play. Oh, no. This is all the stuff that I downloaded. I went into my software and I re-downloaded everything. It's like Tactics Ogre. Well, Tactics Ogre is like Tactics, like Final Fantasy Tactics, isn't it? It's individual units. This is not. I feel like I want to show it off now. This isn't individual units. It's you form groups. Yeah. I went through and I downloaded. No, play Operation Galuga. I don't have the full game. The demo was a disaster. Tactics Ogre is groups. Oh, is it? Ogre Battle, I think, is groups. Ogre Battle is groups. I think Tactics Ogre is individual units, isn't it? Yeah, Ogre Battle is groups. Yeah, I almost kind of want to play it. Oh man, did you guys see on Twitter? Here, I'm gonna put this up. Did you guys see on Twitter? I posted the character that I just recently got. Oh my god, she's amazing. Yeah, Tactics Ogre is more like Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah, Ogre Battle. That's the one I never played either. That's the one I didn't play. So I played Mega Man Legacy. No. Kia, no, I didn't play it. It's I had to re-download everything because for anybody that doesn't know, I got a new memory card. My other memory card was kind of busted, so we tried to download a game and it was going to take 5 hours. So I had to get a new memory card, but I had a 128 gig memory card. Now I have 512. So I went and I re-downloaded a bunch of stuff. Yeah, Lilac, I'm kind of there too. I'm getting to that point where I'm gonna try and cut down my use there. It's a shame because I don't want to not talk to people, but I don't know. You kind of have to do that. What do you do with a drunken silver? A drunken what? Killer instinct. Yeah, the cool axe lady. Oh my god. What the hell was her name? Baron Berengaria is her name, I think. Oh my gosh, she's so awesome. All right, so I'm gonna try this out. So these games randomly last night at 9 p.m. Nintendo puts out they put out a video, and these 3 games got added. So this is Super R-Type, which is I don't think it's not a 1-to-1 of the first game. It's basically like another version of the first game. Wrecking Crew 98 and what's this called? Hebereke. We never got either one of these. We never got either one of these in the US, so I've never played these before. Is R-Types 2 on the PS1 just Super R-Type? I don't know. Wrecking Crew was okay. So somebody said that they really loved it. So here, I'll show you Super R-Type. Here's my problem with this game. I have a problem. First of all, my problem with this game is that it's not R-Type 3, and R-Type 3 is dramatically the better game. This game is also stupid hard. This is old school gaming. If you die, you go back to a different point in the stage. I respect your opinion on women. However, tall and strong women. Amalia? Which one is Amalia? In Unicorn Overlord? All right. Yeah, this is a very old school experience. My ship is dirt slow. Yeah, this is a good game. I enjoyed this. I didn't enjoy it as much as 3. If you ever get a chance, we played it. We played R-Type 3 on stream. Hey, Trios. We played R-Type 3 on stream once. It's such a good game. Whoa. But this is a very old school. There's no shield. One hit kills. If I get hit by anything, I just die and go back to I think it's the beginning of the stage. Okay, wait, hold on. The explosions. I want you to listen. I need to listen to the explosions. This is my, I almost don't want to say this because I don't want everybody else to just suddenly start thinking about it. Like those mine explosions, they all sound like wet farts to me. Not these. These are fine. Sounds like Mario 3 sound effects. Well, I mean, if you're gonna copy off sound effects, you're gonna make the best one. I'm so bad at these space shooter games. Oh, damn it! Whoa! Oh no! Go away! Oh, come on! Oh, it resets. Kill him! Oh, come on! You listen to farts that often, huh? Oh, you know, we gotta have hopping. Look, I died one time. This is the beginning of the stage. And I put it on normal. Does easy change that? Yeah, no, I can just rewind. Like if I really, if it was that important to me, I would just rewind. See? Like, why isn't it dying? There, oh my God. Yeah, there's no checkpoints. It just went right back to the beginning of the stage. Like, that's pretty brutal. I think R-Type was always known for being extremely hard. Like classic mechanics hard.
And notice, you know what when I played it earlier today, you know what I realized about this about this game? Did you notice that I only got one power-up? I got a speed booster at the beginning, and I got one power-up for the little thing in front of me. And then as I get weapon upgrades, the thing will get bigger and stronger. There was literally one actual weapon power-up in that whole level. That right there is my second weapon power-up of the game. Isn't that crazy? There's a reason the game starts on easy. Yeah, most shoot 'em up. Well, they don't all respawn you where you are, but they at least have checkpoints. Yeah, listen to the wet farts. Your ship's got a little something on his nose. Ooh, and I made the mistake of grabbing that second speed booster, and I'm a little too fast. Early SNES game. How early was this? What year was this game? This was this 90? Because the SNES is what, 91? This has got to be 91 or 92, right? This is 91. So this is launch window. This is within the first year, I think. Isn't this one of the games that if you get rid of the slowdown? There was a moment earlier when I was playing that I thought without slowdown, there's no way to win this. So yeah, I don't know if it's unplayable, but if I think this is definitely the slowdown is saving you half the time in this game. Whoa. I'm not grabbing that one because I hate the reflect power in this game. I always love the look of this laser beam, though. The Super Famicom released in late 90. All right, so this is like, oh, this boss. Why? Look how much slowdown. If this is the one that I'm thinking of, look how much slowdown ends up popping up. Whoa! Oh no! This isn't the slow. Wait, it might be if you have that blue weapon. Whoa! Hurry up! There you go. Woo! Would you consider this harder than Gradius 3? Yes. Yeah, I would consider this hard. I would consider this harder than Gradius 3, but I also use the energy weapon with the rotating options in Gradius 3, and that really does a number on the difficulty of that game. If you, oh no, oh, I thought they were invincible, or I thought they were like unharmful. Oh, and look, and now I'm dirt slow. I have no power-ups. This is probably the biggest issue with shoot 'em up games, is that when you get more power, any game where they take everything from you, it feels hard, if not impossible, to recover. Like, if I couldn't beat this with all of my stuff, how am I so? Oh my god. How am I supposed to do this without it? No, don't. Yeah, it does start to feel like that. Like, you might as well just reset, especially if you die on a boss. R-Type 2 on the PS1 is... Oh, okay. I know. R-Type 2 on the PS1 is... Okay, so Super R-Type is just R-Type 2. Okay. That explains why. So what's funny is that Super Nintendo never got R-Type 1. Because this also had Super Nintendo had R-Type 3, which, by the way, R-Type 3 is one of the best shoot 'em up games I've ever played. I think that game is tough, but holy smokes, that game is just incredible. Oh no. So I prefer Star Soldier 64. If you die, you lose some. Yeah, a lot of games. There was a game on the Turbo on TurboGrafx, Cybercore. I remember Cybercore was one of the first games I remember doing that. I think Stinger / Twinbee, I think they had a mechanic where you took damage and lost weapons before you just died. Kind of prefer bullet hells in that regard. Most of them only give you a small power down, and it only takes you like 10 seconds to get back to where you were. Because shit keeps exploding everywhere. Oh, dying also gave you one super attack charge. Whoa. Yeah, I was always a big fan of these games. I always loved them. The biggest problem with these, they are expensive. Like, as a collector, if you want to go back and you want to play some of these games, obviously you have emulation and whatnot, but these games hold their cost value very, very well. So if you want to go back and if you want to try and be a shoot 'em up collector, you better have a lot of money. R-Type 1 and 2 and the PS1 added checkpoints and changed the music and sound effects. I mean, the music in R-Type 3 is probably what I like the most. It's so good. It's just overall such a good game. I think we played it a little bit on stream. Back from the eye doctor as you play. No, not yet. Not yet. I wanted to play this one because I kind of felt like this was the game that I was just going to try out and be done with. Doesn't help a lot of classic shmups are on obscure consoles. Even still, it's like Super Nintendo and Super Famicom. There's tons of shoot 'em ups there, and they're very, very expensive. And you're right, there are some like if you want to get like Grady, like if you want to get like the legit Gradius 2 Gopher, I think that's on the Sharp X68000, and that system alone is expensive to try and find one that works. Whoa. Like Turbo had a bunch of relatively decent ones. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Actually, Stone, you kind of hit what I was gonna say there. You know what system has a lot of good shoot 'em ups? The Nintendo Switch. They brought tons of stuff, but even then, like you mentioned, Dodonpachi, the Dodonpachi Resurrection, even that is pricey. What do you mean? I didn't die. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh no! Why does it keep doing that? Yeah, there we go. Okay. See, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. Everything's okay. We didn't die. We didn't die. You're making that up. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Would you die already? See, we're totally safe. Now imagine I lose. Like, imagine if there was a game, where you just respawn where you are. How are you supposed to get through that without all of your weapons? Yeah, the Switch is incredible. There was such a shoot 'em up revolution on the Switch. Put a video to PS1 version of R-Type 2 in follower form. Oh, 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 oh. Ah, it didn't work. Well, wait, I can't. Okay, hold on. I have to do that. Oh. There you go. Whoa! Woo! Come on, hurry up. Ah, I didn't mean to do that. Would you die already? Yeah, see, look, like, imagine this without slowdown. Look, we just saw it right there. That last moment didn't have slowdown. It felt impossible. I remember being really good at these kinds of games, and I tried to play Gradius recently, and it wasn't pretty. With this frame rate, you might as well cheat. The game's broken. Oh, they're shooting. Wait, they're shooting spermies at me. I'll just do one more stage and then we'll switch over. What the heck is that one? Oh, this is like a blast weapon. Oh, this thing is crazy. Good music, by the way. Pretty decent music. Making a 60 FPS joke, but actually, yeah. I don't have R-type dimensions. I don't believe I have R-type dimensions. PS1 was a system that I tried to collect shoot 'em ups for, and then shoot 'em ups got expensive. Like, even at the time, shoot 'em ups got expensive. Try and buy a copy of Einhander. Even like copies of Einhander are expensive. There was a game, there was a Japanese game called Zanuck X Zanuck, I think is what it was called. There was an NES game called Zanuck, and then there was a Japanese PS1 version. And by the time I tried to buy that game, it was $150. It's on Switch. What's on? Oh, R-Type Dimensions. Oh, I have the demo for that. You know what I thought you were saying? R-Type Delta. I was thinking of R-Type Delta. No, I have the demo for R-Type Dimensions. No, but I didn't get it. Well, that was mean. Oh no, I didn't want that weapon. Damn. There's a 2 for that, Stone, isn't there? Isn't there an R-Type Dimensions 2? Or is it Delta? Was there a Delta 2? Oh, wait. Whoa! Almost. You almost got me. R-Type Final. R-Type Final, I think, has a 1 and 2. Which is kind of funny that there's an R-Type Final 2. Which is not as funny when you think about the fact that we were playing Final Fantasy 16. Oh, Final has 3 games? And there's an R-Type Dimensions EX. R-Type, to be completely honest, R-Type was never my favorite. As far as a franchise goes, I was definitely a Gradius person. Gradius and Life Force / Salamander, they were definitely my favorites. Giga Wing was cool. I like Giga Wing 1 and 2 on the Dreamcast. Dreamcast there's a terrific game on the Dreamcast called Mars Matrix. Very, very good. Oh no! R-Type was the only shoot 'em up I ever played? Really? Oh man, I was a Gradius. Yeah, look at how dramatically different the game feels when the slowdown goes away. Whoops. Don't know what you're talking about. Oh, it's so much fun. It's fun to cheat not only the game, but myself. That seems kind of cheating that the gun is protecting me. Still got to get around. Oh, Radiant. Radiant is probably the best shoot 'em up ever. Radiant's over. Between that and R-Type 3. I got to give it to Radiant. I got to give it to Radiant on that one. Oh, this is Amalia. Amalia. Oh, I haven't gotten to her. Wait. If that's in the game, don't tell me about her. I haven't gotten there yet. Yeah, if that's in Unicorn Overlord, don't tell me that. How many stages is this game? Is this game 5 stages? Tell me it's 5 stages so we can just beat it right now. Whoa. Five or 6? Yeah, let me know. Let me know. Oh, I feel like that would have actually been a better weapon. Even though I don't like the laser in this weapon. The laser in this game, I mean. You got to upload this playthrough to you. Oh, this is all. I've been doing that. I've been pretty good with uploading my stream VODs lately. I had another one that just went up today. Yesterday's video just went up today. I've been pretty good with it. Yeah, look at how the slowdown disappeared and all of a sudden the game got way harder. This is a game I have to talk to Experiment. This is a game that I'd be curious to see with the SA1 patch, the one that removes all of the slowdown from these types of games. I have SA1 patch with Gradius 3 that removes all of the slowdown in that game. That game gets dramatically harder when you remove the slowdown from it. I have that in Contra. Yeah, this game, look at this game with no slowdown. This would be impossible. Whoa. Yeah, I'm Ronan. I'm a little consistent. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be a little. I've said before, consistency is the thing that I lose out on. It's the thing that I don't do. I need to be consistent, and I need to do it regularly. No! Oh, I thought I got... No! Okay. Oh! No! That would have been cool. Oh, no way. Whoa. Whoa! Well, that was a frame limiter. The limits to keep it to 15. No, you can patch them so that it just removes the slowdown completely and it keeps them at a steady 60. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, I grabbed that power up by mistake. Wow, I can't believe I got all the way up here. Hey, I may be using the rewind, but I'm getting some stuff done. I'm making some moves. Do you work out the stuff on my PC? Oh, the CPU stuff? No, I don't understand why my PC does that. So, and it's not all the time. It's so weird. So I have my CPU for some reason, I'll hear my fan ramp up on my computer, and my CPU is it's like doing work. Even if I'm idle, my CPU will just ramp up. So I looked at my temps, and my temps were kind of high for idle, which it was like 50, like 51, 52. So I looked at CPU Z, I think it was. It shows me all of my individual core performance. One of my cores it just ramps up to 30%. All the other cores will be at between 0 and 3%. And then one core will just randomly start ramping up, and it'll ramp up to 30%. So then my temps go up a little bit, and my fan kicks on. My fan goes in the high gear because it's trying to keep the temperature down. And yesterday it went up to 62, but I wasn't doing anything. And then when I turned my computer on today, that's what happened.
But then after maybe 10, 15 minutes, it ramped down. Like right now, everything's operating like normal. It's just so strange. Am I cheating? Not only the game, but myself. Absolutely. If you set your power profile to high performance, the CPU will be kept at a high frequency even on idle. But it's still operating, but it's at a high frequency, but it still says 0. Well, no, because my CPU is idling at 3.65. I think that's where I have it set to. But no, when I set it back up, I didn't change it. It usually idles at around 3.65. But for some reason, one core was ramping up to like 4.5. But even when I'm idle, like I'm not doing anything. Oh my God, wait. Pay attention here. Oh no. This is probably the last stage. Okay. This might be the last stage. This seems unusually extra difficult. Okay, that last one was my fault. Whoa. Stay off center just a little bit. Whoa. It's the one thing about shoot 'em up games. Whoa! If you want to win shoot 'em up games, it's all about positioning. Especially older shoot 'em ups. They used to have. There'd be a lot of games where there'd be spots where you could sit and not get hit by anything. Oh no! Okay, I actually thought I was away from that one. Move up. Shh, 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 shh. Nobody say anything. Oh my God! Don't grab. Oh no! Don't grab that speed boost. The speed boost makes it unplayable. I saw you inside that wall there. Yeah, at least when they were supposed to die. You might need to check on the resource monitor if some processes hog the power. That's what I forgot to do. I forgot, like an idiot. I forgot, like, let me just check the resources and see what is drawing usage like that. I once had a case of malware was installed and used CPU and GPU during idle. I might have mined or cryptoed or something. Yeah, my CPU was used. It's a 5700X I got for $110, $120, I think. Can't beat that. Here. Oh, I'm so fast. Look at, oh, I'm fast. A little too fast there. I was worried because, first of all, I don't want my ship to go too fast to the point where I can't control it. One other mechanic, a lot of shoot 'em ups have different mechanics. Gradius, for instance, if you grab too many, like if you grab max speed and then you grab another speed booster, it resets your speed to below what your starting speed is. So I don't know why exactly they do that, but that's the mechanic of the game. Here, grab another. Just grab. I think we're maxed out. I think it just maxes out speed and it just doesn't do anything anymore. Because this doesn't feel any faster. We're defeating the elements of the Bido Empire. I think that's the Bido Empire for. Oh. That's why you have to watch your. Oh my God! That's why you have to watch your speed very carefully. Oh. I can't get through here. Oh! You didn't have to kamikaze him. Like, there we go. Woo! We did it. Have you ever thought of doing a game swap stream where you set it up so that after a certain amount of time the game swaps automatically to a different game? I saw someone. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything. The only, actually, Dragon, the only game that I've ever seen that did anything like that was the Nintendo World Championship cartridge.
like that game. Yeah, I've never seen. Send me a link to something that sets that kind of thing up. That's kind of interesting. Whoa. They weren't doing anything, and then they just suddenly started shooting at me. Oh, look. The slowdown disappears for a second, and all of a sudden the game is wildly difficult. And I can't have the music. Woo! Interesting with me. I mentioned a few days ago I can appreciate arcade type Atari 2600 games for some reason. If you give me this kind of game, it's I find it as a generic shooter and I get bored. I've heard people say that about shoot 'em up. Okay. About shoot 'em ups in general, that they it just feels like a lot of the same stuff. Whoa. Oh my God. I'm crashing myself here. And yeah, I did. I rammed the hell out of that dude. Wait. Wait, what? Ow. Okay. You have to play. Yeah, I think shoot 'em ups just in general. It's the whole genre is like that. Like it feels the same, but the uniqueness of the genre is defined by the small things that the game does differently. You know, the different power-up systems, the different movement mechanics, like all of that stuff is why they're different. There we go. Oh, it's too fast. It's too fast. Look. Oh my God. Stop doing that. Like, you need the slowdown. I saw a lot of excitement over this game versus the other two games on Twitter. My question is why it looks kind of generic. Marcos, to be completely honest, because we didn't get the other two. Over in the U.S., we never got what was it, Wrecking Crew 98 or the other game. I've never even heard of the other game. I don't even know if I knew that Wrecking Crew 98 was a thing. I kind of thought Wrecking Crew was one of those things that Nintendo just never did anything. That'd be like telling me Wrecking Crew 98 was a thing is like if you told me that there was an Ice Climbers 2. Okay, that was my fault. See, too much speed. Have you ever, I've beaten Contra 3. Just on normal. I've beaten all the way through Contra 3. Whoa. I've beaten Contra Hardcore. Not every ending, but I've gotten the best ending in that game. There you go. Yeah, perfect demonstration of high frame rate versus stable frame rate. I played Wrecking Crew 98 in middle school on emulator. Oh, really?
You give me Galaga on 2600 or Asteroids, I can get down. If you give me this, I want to play Metal. Like, I mean, Metal Slug is great. Metal Slug's a fantastic game. That's a franchise I never fully explored. I played Metal Slug 1 and 2 in the arcades. So it was like, oh, okay, I played it. You know, I popped in, you know, I did 50 cents and then that was it. I never really got in depth into the Metal Gear franchise. Metal Gear also, but Metal Slug. I was excited for... Where the hell is Metal Slug Tactics? I was all excited for it, and I thought it would be a really cool idea. And that game vanished. Where is that? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Didn't it come? No, Metal Slug Tactics? No, it just disappeared. Right? Are you telling me? Wait, there's no way it came out, right? Whoa. Imagine that game came out. I was all excited for it, and then it just randomly came out. Woo. Oh. Yeah, look at all the resources I have in order to get through this. They said it got delayed to 2024. That was in December. Nothing since. What is all this madness on the screen coming at you? It's like bugs. It's a it's the Bido Empire. They're all, you know, alien creatures. They want to take over the world, or they want to take over the galaxy with their alienness. You know, but we have to bring the managed democracy. Oh, here come the wet fart bombs again. Yeah, I think that's generally the idea with R-Type, is that you fight. I believe it's the Bido Empire, BYDO. I'm pretty sure it's the Bido Empire is what you fight against. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, please give me a better weapon. Oh my god. Yeah, every shoot 'em up story ever. We must fight the evil blank empire that's trying to take over the galaxy. Either intentionally or unintentionally. Getting annihilated here. Whoa. The stupid weapon. There you go. Give me that. What is it? Interactive edibles? Yeah, shoot 'em up stories are like fighting game stories. There's always it's. I mean, back in the day, you know, there was never anything more common than we have to beat the bad guy. Post in side chat one. Oh, okay. So here we go. And can you set goal markers in the games so that it'll shift from this game to that game when we reach a certain point? Unless it's Toho, in those games you're trying to stop a nuclear crow from having a tea party or something. All I know about Toho games is you're dodging raindrops. It's in order to play those games. Oh, they're like, look, they're like Miis. They're clone Miis. Wait, is that... Oh, wait, is that... Are they my friends? Oh, I'm, like, freeing my friends. Okay. How interested was I in Stranger of Paradise? I wanted to try it out. I wanted to pick up a copy of it and try it out. I don't know. I to be honest, I was sort of semi-interested. Stranger of Paradise is a game that I didn't really pay attention to once I found that it was on PS5. Because I didn't have one. Now that I have one, I'm interested to try it out. I kind of want to see what it's about, but I don't know. I'm interested to try it out. If I don't ever play it, I don't know if I'm going to be that upset about it. But I do want to wait to it's on sale so I'm going to physical copies are pretty cheap for that game. The problem is just finding one. So I'll try and get that game physically. Come on, friends. See, look at see how my friends die because they have no power-ups like I do. To force his hand or not. Yeah, I'll definitely play that. That's definitely something I'm going to get around to trying. I mean, I also have Crisis Core, so there's just so much to play right now. You know, it's like the opposite of the problem that I usually have. And I've been kind of there for a while. Okay. Can I? Okay, sorry. Yeah, and they're good games. That's the thing, is that there's a lot of really, really good games out there. Oh, did I cheese it? I think I cheesed it. I got my little power-up thingy in there. Oh, no. Get him, my little power-up friend. Yeah, but by the way, anybody who's criticizing me for doing this, I don't care. I'm not here to... I'm not trying to set any skill records. I'm trying to beat the game to show it off so everybody can see what it looks like. How do I... Whoa. I don't even know how I got over there. There we go. It's probably easier to learn how to fly a spaceship in real life than beat Toho games. It's one of the game series. The majority of fans probably never played them. Just care about the music. Yeah, and that's one thing I always hear about. Like, I never played one. I never played a Toho shoot 'em up. Here's the thing. There's a lot of Toho games, right? Because isn't Luna Nights? What's that game? Toho Luna Nights. That's not a shoot 'em up. What are the shoot 'em up Toho games? What are they actually called? Yeah, there's fighting games too. So what are the actual shoot 'em ups for Toho? Also for the shuffler, I think you can set it for goals or set a time, either choice or at random. Okay, all right. I didn't realize Ninja Gaiden had more levels. Wait, Ninja Gaiden had more levels than 2? Wait. Everything that's not a shoot 'em up is not made by the original creator. He just lets people use the IP because he doesn't care. But what are they actually called? Like, if I typed in Toho shoot 'em up, what name am I looking for? Yeah, shoot 'em ups tend to relatively be short. There aren't really that are excessively long. Assuming you're able to get through them all. That's sort of, you know, it's funny because games like this, these are basically roguelites, right? You know, you put your coin in and you start, and then you see how far you can get. It's like Tento. Yeah, so what are they called? I don't know. That's the thing. All right, I want to try this one out. I love Sunsoft, so I'm kind of excited to try this game out. Of course, Greg plays a shoot 'em up when I'm at work and couldn't watch. Look up Toho plus a number. Is that how it is? That's what I'm... Stone, that's what I'm asking. So if I look up Toho 3, that's going to be the shoot 'em up. Anything with a name is not a shoot 'em up? I couldn't beat Ninja Gaiden without using rewinds. I did that as a kid because I had no life. All right, well, hold on. Let me bust out my Genki book here. What is this? What am I looking at here? Oh, the first one on Windows and what made it famous in the West, Toho 6. Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil. Oh, you like... Wait, what? What am I doing here? It's like a fight. Oh, it's like an... Is this an arena fighter? It's an arena fighting game? No way. Oh, wait, how many buttons do I have? I'm still learning the buttons. Oh my god. He did like a combo. He like two-pieced them. Look, look, look. I'm giving him the business. What? This SmackDown Sunday right here. Oh my god, this is Gang Beast before Gang Beast. Hold on. Oh, what? What is that? Look, he's Oh my god, he did a 4-hit combo. Oh, I grabbed him. No way. Oh wait, there's items. Oh my god. But is the game good? How can it be good with items? I don't know. Oh, I got him. Oh, 6 p.m. 236. Arena Fighter. It's been a Super Famicom app for 3 years. Oh, okay. So we're just getting it now. Yeah, because then on the Japanese one, they got Battletoads and Battle Maniacs, which we got on the last update, I think. Anything here under Windows games? Oh, I'm sorry, Stone. On Discord, I still have the links turned off here. And you said this. Who said that this supports multi-tap, but not on the NSO? Can I hit like combos and stuff? Wait, hold on. So I got jump. Shoulder buttons don't do anything. That's a little combo punch. You can do moves. Whoa. I don't know. Oh, I just noticed their health bar too. Hit him with the old hit him with the Okie Schmicks. What? Post on the followers. Thank you. We got here. Okay, so this is Toho Project. Okay. Thank you. All right, I wanna pick another character. Can I pick a different character? I would have to start over. Yeah, I can't. It sucks that they didn't add multi-tap support to the online for this. Oh my god, this is visually very tough to look at. What the? Aha! Slow down. Oh, we'd have to remove the slowdown. Wake up, Super! There's no like super move or anything that I can do. Items are all over the place. This game is crazy. This is like ahead of its time. I feel like this is something that if this came out right now in a modern state, I think people would go crazy for it. Right, you have all the look at the characters. You have base characters, and then you give them little costumes that you can earn, little hats. Right, you let them all wear different hats, like in the new Pac-Man game. Can I do stuff in the air? Are there air moves? Oh, slow down. I think there are similar indie games. Yeah, I feel like you'd make something really cool with this.
No! Hit him! There you go. Grab him. Taunt dash. Cancel fireball. I tried wave dashing, but it didn't work. How many SNES games that are on NSO supported the multi-tap? Yeah, that is a good question. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, bear in mind, this is also a Super Nintendo game. So, like, imagine if my friends and I had this game, we would have played this all day long. Oh wait, was that like a stage? Is that a stage weakness? Is that a stage hazard? The little bumper thing? Oh, he turned into a green slime, and I guess he can sort of mess with us. Was that it? Was that the whole thing? Yeah, the first issue was I have to pretend I have friends. Well, back in the day, I used to. All right, that's enough of that. That's actually really cool, though. I kind of want to, at some point, I want to see. I really wish that had 4-player online, and we could try that for Community Day, because that would be kind of cool. All right, this is the one that I'm excited to try. Here's my problem with the original game. I tried to play the original game. I do not know how to play Wrecking Crew. Oh, it's here too. I do not understand how to play this game. So I'm hoping this one is easier to understand. Sanrio World Smash Ball. Hello Kitty? Oh, I would play a Hello Kitty game if we had it. There are hundreds. No, Gold. How many are on the app? How many SNES games are on the app that had multi-tap support? Like, had it in the original game, but it's not supported here. Because that last game had multi-tap support. It's just not supported here. Yeah. What do you mean with multi-tap? 4-player games. That was a 4-player game. That game that we were just playing, Habarike or whatever the heck it was called, that's a 4-player game. You plug in your multi-tap to your Super Nintendo, you plug in 4 controllers, and 4 people play it. And they had a handful of them. All the Bombermans, I still have my multi-tap, my Hudson multi-tap. All the Bombermans were 4-player games. I believe some of the sports games were 4-player games. Mario Kart I think was only 2-player. Yeah, you need the accessory. Yeah, Secret of Mana had 3 players, but they didn't make a 3-player multi-tap. You just had the 4. But yeah, Secret of Mana had a 3-player multi-tap. SNES multi-tap games. Oh, there's a handful of them. So the Bomberman games, Fever Pitch. I don't know if this is all of them. There's a soccer game, NBA Hang Time, International. Oh my God, International Superstar Soccer. Barkley, Shut Up and Jam, Street Racer. Tiny Toons? Tiny Toons Wacky Sport Challenge, Bill Walsh College Football, and Madden 94 Super Off-Road. Is that all of them? Oh, there were 72. There were 72 multi-tap games. Holy, yeah, there's a whole list of them here. You say after playing 50 hours, you might like to. Oh, I think I will. I absolutely think I will. I just have to get around to it. Mario Kart was only 2-player because it was designed to be F-Zero with it was designed originally to be F-Zero 2 with multiplayer. All right, wait. What did I do here? Wait, what is this? What? Oh, look, you can't even look at the thing. Oh my God, wait. Oh, brother. Whoa. Wait, how do you, what? What's that? Oh. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, this is like, Oh, you can just climb. All right. Wait, I have no more moves. I can't do anything else. Can I just get rid of them? Is that what I'm trying to do? Is get rid of everything on my board? What am I doing here? Well, now I have nothing. I don't know what to do. There's nothing more I can do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Oh, I have to go up here, I guess. Oh, you jump. I literally have no idea what to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to be aiming for here. Hello? There's nothing I can do. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, give me something to do here. Oh, look at the little forklift. How do you... Does the forklift hurt me? I think it does. I literally don't know. Yeah, read the enclosed manual. Read the manual. Here. Ah, damn it. I didn't mean to do that. Here. What? I guess you're trying to top out the other player, but I think I'm just stuck in a loop because I don't have resources. Oh, here we go. Hold on. There you go. So yeah, I'm probably going to lose here. Yeah. Oh. Oh, I can't. Okay. I'm understanding it. This way? There we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lose right here. Ooh. This is definitely a, if you can understand it, if you can sort of wrap your head around what you're supposed to do, you can probably be really good at this game. I don't know how to, I can't get the ones above. I'm stuck on this level right here. Oh, I can do that. This one? Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, he's just really good. All right, that's not bad. Is that the only? That's not the only game though, right? That's just one of the game modes. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't know if I could jump and hammer. All right, let's try again. I'm not gonna play that whole game out. I just wanna see if I can understand what some of the mechanics were. Oh man.
Let's go this. Nope. Ah, damn it. Do that? Ow, ow. Oh, wait, can I jump and hit? I don't think I can, right? Oh, you can. Oh, you can. There. Okay, there you go. I feel like I have to set it up to that little thing at the top. Ugh. Oh, damn it. Can you do... Ugh. Yeah, I don't know what the point is after this. Like, what am I just stuck that I can't do anything anymore? Because none of the switches do anything. I think you need to wait for him to send you blocks. Oh my god, like that? Yeah, let's just get that down. Whoa! Oh, look at that. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. This. Okay. I'm gonna pay attention to his side. I kind of want to see if I can try to understand what I'm supposed to be looking for here. Okay, yeah, so you can jump. No. Oh! Oh, so oh, no! There you go. So it's kind of like Puyo Puyo. If that's the case, then that's probably why I'm gonna suck at this game, because I'm just terrible at Puyo Puyo. Ah, damn it. Ah, I'm dead. Press X? Was that a thing? Was there a mechanic that I was missing? Oh no, don't do that. Alright, so there's gotta be other modes, right? There's gotta be... What's the actual mode that's like playing Wrecking Crew, where you build a building or something? No, don't do that. Here, reset the game. I think this is it. Is that all it is? Because that's the original NES game. I kind of want to see... let's try and pick some of the other options and see if we can find out what it is. What's this stuff? Oh, press X for more blocks. Oh, so this is just versus mode. What's this? The top is story mode. The second is versus. This is... Let's pick the second thing there. I guess this is like a practice mode. Help menu. Exit. And whatever this is. So yeah, okay, so this game is not... Okay. Alright, so this isn't like the first game. This is all this type of game. Top is thermal. So you said I can press X and that drops more blocks? Alright. I just want to see if the X actually does do that. I wonder if there's a way to understand. Oh, jump. Oh, I lost already. I got annihilated. Wait, why was he so much better? He was so much better than me at that time in that game. Yeah, hold on. There it is, just on. Yeah, well, I've got the book, Trios. I have the Genki book. I just haven't sat down to do it. Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm sitting there looking for other things. Holy smoke. Yeah, this game is interesting. Just do that. All right, so you said if I hit... Oh, yeah, if I hit X, sure enough, more stuff just randomly falls down. Do that? Yeah, just get rid of them. Oh, what's this bomb? I bet if I hit it, it's fine. Oh, okay. You can't, I guess well, you hit towards the back, so I guess you can't hit things with your hammer. So yeah, so you just hit X and more blocks appear. No! Oh, no. There we go. There. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Ugh. No. And that. Okay. I'm getting it. All right, I hit him with a little something. Okay, and now I'm understanding what happens to his side over there. Do this. Do that. And do that. Drop a few more. Oh, now he starts dropping those metal ones. Do that. All right. I'm getting it. So it's like Pokemon Puzzle League. You can make yourself have more pieces. I guess so. Puzzle League that definitely wasn't a game that I really got into. Well, I didn't play Pokemon Puzzle League, but the Pokemon Puzzle League, that's the one that was paneled upon. I played that. That's on the SNO, that's on the NSO app also. Yeah, it's on the N64. Well, the Pokemon Puzzle League.
the Super Nintendo panel upon is on the NSO app. Hey! Oh no! Oh, I thought I had that. Whoops. Uh oh. Just get it all down. Oh, damn it. Here we go. Come on. Oh, it's so close. Why are why is the first computer opponent so good? They're never this good. Oh my God, we got him. Holy crap. That's the first guy. The first guy is always supposed to be the terrible one that you're basically given a win. Why was he so good at this? Or I'm not that bad? I wrecked his crew. It's because he looks like Among Us. That's why I beat him so bad. Or the fall guy. Yeah, he looks like the fall guy. All right, so the last game, no, that was it. That was all three of them. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. That's definitely a game that you can have fun if you put some real time into it. So yeah, this is the Kirby one. This was just Kirby paneled upon, right? The one that I was thinking of is this one. Nintendo. Yeah, I like the art style. I love that style of Mario and all those characters. What happened to all those characters? Where are they? First guy should be so bad, even if you beat him, you still don't know how to play. Yeah, exactly. Oh, the Kirby one is the one where do not tread on my roots comes from. Yeah, isn't this the game? This is the game that I played, right? Yeah, I think I played this one. Yeah. Yeah, this was a game where I was like, oh, I've never played this before, and then I played it and I thought, oh man, this is actually kind of good. I can see why people just sunk a lot of time into this one. I can't do anything. There you go. Oh, this is literally OG Pokemon Puzzle League. Yeah, because we never got this. We never got it skinned like this. We got Pokemon Puzzle League. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show that off. This is the one that I played a lot of. And then the Kirby one, you said, is the Kirby one basically the same thing? I didn't play this one. What the heck is this actually called? Some people like Lip. Some people want Lip. The girl on the left for Smash. I'm like, what would she do? Just drop blocks on us. I think pressing the L speeds up the blocks. Ah, look at the art style. Oh, look. I guess those are the difficulty. Here, we'll just do that one. Is this? Oh, this is... Wait. Oh, this is one... Okay. So the stars could be anything? So I do that, and okay. Uh-oh, wait. Oh, wait, it's doing stuff. Oh my god, just a bunch of stuff happened. Oh no. No. I'm hyper tapping. Oh, that worked. Alright, but you don't want to match them perfectly. Oh, I'm gonna top out over there. I don't know how to clear anything else out. Oh wait, I didn't lose? I wonder why I didn't just automatically lose there. Yeah, okay. There you go. More stuff happening. Oh my god, more stuff. Yeah, this is the opposite of this is the fundamental opposite of Final Fantasy 16. Oh, I can't believe I got over there for that. Do that. What? What? Okay, I'm just not paying attention. We're gonna lose. I don't know how to. Okay. No. Okay, we lost. All right. So that's gonna be it for that. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah, I'm really surprised. I was looking at my phone at night, right before I went to sleep, and I saw the update. I'm like, what? What a strange update. I just didn't recognize those other two games. I don't even know if I knew that Wrecking Crew 98 existed. That other one I definitely never heard of. And then Super R-Type was a game that I had and I played, and I had okay memories of it, but I was also remember, and you guys kind of said the same thing. I always kind of remembered it as it's just sort of there as an R-Type game. It's just kind of there. Tetris Attack. Oh, Tetris Attack was the Yoshi game. Parked at work now. Wrecking Crew 98 is a match 3 puzzler a la Panel de Pon and Tetris Attack, which is a game we got in the States. They had Yoshi's Island skin. This is before Pokemon Puzzle League. Wrecking Crew 98 and original Wrecking Crew play nothing else. Yeah, they're wildly different games. It says better or worse than SNES. R-Type 3 on SNES is the best. It's like top 3 shoot 'em ups. R-Type 3 on the SNES is like top 3 shoot 'em up for me. Super R-Type, it was fine. It's fine. It's a good enough game. This update, I mean, this is definitely a situation of when people say these games are fine, but I still feel like there are better games that could be put onto this service. That's kind of where I am with these games, even with Super R-Type. Like, there's better shoot 'em ups that we could have gotten. But yeah, they're fine for what they are. You know, it's just more content. It's more content going to the service. These games are there and they're there, so you can play them and try them. And if you like them, you like them, and if you don't, you don't. I mean, you know, we got the good stuff here. We got I think my biggest gripe with the service right now, and it's been this way for a little while. I wish there were more RPGs. I don't understand why the Final Fantasy game. Like, it was wild to me that the Final Fantasy games, for instance, weren't there. Because the SNES, the SNES Mini had Final Fantasy 3.
and Mario RPG. So it's always weird to me when those games aren't on the service yet. Are these fine? These are fine. Were there any cute 'em ups? I believe there were some Twin B games, not on the NSO. I believe the Super Nintendo had some Twin B games and Parodius. I know there was at least one Parodius game on the system. Gradius 3. I love Gradius 3. I think that's probably my favorite one. Most people won't venture out of their comfort zone. Marcos, I would say that a lot of people will, but they'll try it for 5 minutes and then they're done with it. And then they're done. And that's assuming they even bother, just because you can venture out of your comfort zone all you want. If you don't like puzzle games, Wrecking Crew is not going to appeal to you at all. Cute 'em up. Cute 'em ups, Ronan, they're shoot 'em up games, but they have a silly aesthetic. Star Parodier was a really good one on TurboGrafx, PC Engine. The Twin B series, Pop and Twin B and stuff, those were cute 'em ups. They were like silly attacks, silly weapons, silly ships and designs. Parodius was like a parody of a lot of Gradius stuff, and that had a lot of real silliness. I don't think that counts as a cute 'em up, but Choaniki, I think it was called Choaniki. Remember, it was like the shooter that had the bodybuilders in it. I think that technically counts as that sort of genre where that's not cute 'em up, but it is a silly shoot 'em up. So I think cute 'em ups just sort of became the term for silly shoot 'em ups. But yeah, Twin B is I would argue the premier franchise in that genre. But you get like Star Parodier and stuff, and that's what they're like. You just made me think of Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, but I won't say why. It's tricky because we say Mario RPG Remake is why, but no, yeah. But we have both versions of Link's Awakening, 3 versions of Mario 1. I just feel like there's got to be a reason, and even AGM, even the idea that Mario RPG has a remake that they're trying to sell, sure, but it didn't have that for the last 6 years. That excuse only works now. That excuse hasn't worked forever. So it was very strange. It's strange to me that there are games on the SNES Mini that aren't on the app. And then in the years since then, we haven't had a lot of games, but we get stuff like to be honest with you, I think Wrecking Crew is kind of interesting. Wrecking Crew 98. I think that Hebereke. I think that was a really fun game. I'm kind of bummed out that it doesn't have the 4-player. And Super R-Type. It's Super R-Type. It is what it is. I think that they're fine additions. I think that there could be worse. But I think there could be a lot better. In the years between, it's everyone's favorite buzzword, licensing. I think OG Mario RPG could happen, but it'd be well after the see. And again, Mr. L, like, yeah, at this point, yeah, you can say that it'll be well after the remake has had its run. But what about the 6-7 years before that? Where was that? Because I forget how long it took before the NSO became a thing. But where was the game before that? Any time after the SNES Mini until Mario RPG Remake, it doesn't really. It's kind of strange that it was never there. And Paper Mario 64 was pretty early into the N64 app. Yeah, it's just kind of strange. I don't know. I think that this lineup, it's definitely gotten better. This update, for instance, this is a fine update. Wrecking Crew 98's okay. Hebereke is fine. Super R-Type is fine. But then we still get the updates that had, what was that one update? I mean, Bomboozle is here. I think this was all one update. Bomboozle, Claymates, and Jelly Boy. Like, we still get that kind of update. And they're so random, which I love. I love when it's random. I love the idea of, oh man, they just added new stuff. But I do like some sort of a schedule. R-Type 3 or Gradius 3? Gradius 3 for me. Gradius 3. I just have more nostalgia. And I have nostalgia for R-Type 3, but Gradius 3, I just feel like is a more approachable game. I think it's more interesting. But if you're gonna ask me about the music, R-Type 3 is just incredible as far as its soundtrack goes. It's just unbelievable. Okay. I think that's gonna do it. Hang on one second here. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, we'll leave that. If they have the rights for a remake, while I'm sure they're different, it's not that far to get the rights for the SNES re-release for Mario RPG. I mean, that's also kind of a weird one because it's always weird to think about. Think about the idea that Nintendo would have a hard time getting the rights for a Mario game. See, like when you say it, it sounds ridiculous. Like, oh, well, why isn't Nintendo releasing Super Mario RPG? Well, licensing. Licensing for a Mario game? So we have established today that Nintendo is having problems with licensing for a Mario game, and Nintendo owns Mario porn. Right? Nintendo's kind of all over the place with the things that they own. That's funny. Yeah, who made Mario RPG? Square Enix. Squaresoft made Mario RPG, but it's still a Mario game. I don't look at, when you say Super Mario RPG, you think Mario game, you don't think Squaresoft game. Joe Mama. Japan NSO got Marvelous Another Treasure Island, which was Aonuma's directorial debut game, and later Plonk went to inspire A Link to the Past for Miyamoto and Tetris Trackers on GameCube. We shortened Square Enix to SE. We can't do that for Squaresoft. Why? What, Lilac? Are you worried that we'll be beholden to the SS? I don't understand why that's a thing. As long as I forget everything I know about World War II history, I don't understand why that's a problem. I mean, Squaresoft, we always just called Squaresoft, so we never. I mean, to be honest, Square Enix. I don't call them SE. I call them Square Enix. I call them Squeenix, and I don't like that nobody else calls them Squeenix. We should call them Squeenix. Come on. Let's jump on the Squeenix bandwagon. Oh, another bummer about this. They didn't sometimes when they do this, they add secret like the Super Metroid, like these special versions. Sometimes they add special versions, and they didn't add that this time. I loved Adventure Island. Oh, wait. No. Hold on. AGM, he's saying Treasure Island. Are you saying Treasure Island or Adventure Island? Yeah. Adventure Island's on here. Didn't they add Adventure Island? Why do I think that they added that at some point? I thought they added Super Adventure Island. Oh, here we go. Wait. Cute 'em up. I was going to say, yeah, Pop and Twinbee. This is a cute 'em up. Yeah, these are cute 'em ups. Yeah, so you got the little ship. Its little side things are arms. Right? It throws the little bombs. You get the clouds. Beat up. Yeah, these are cute 'em ups. Yeah, Twinbee is a long. Look with the little pineapple guys. So the first one of these I ever played was on the NES, American NES. It came out as a game called Stinger. If you ever played Stinger on the original NES, that's this game. Well, I think it's the first in the franchise, but it's this series. They didn't call it Twinbee over here. They called it Stinger. Right, you shoot the little bells. Yeah, it's adorable. That. Okay, we're gonna let that go by. Okay, God, there's more of them. Keep going there. Let's just go ahead and get these off the screen as fast as possible, huh? Let's not have to look at that for too long, huh? Right? What do you think? Yeah, cucumbers. That's what we're going with. Look at that little. Look at there, the little boats. Yeah. And on my SNES Mini, I have a couple of the Parodius games. Yeah, these are fun. I had when I sold my Saturn stuff, I had the Japanese Saturn Twin Beat Deluxe. It was like a collection. Whoa. Oh, that's my special. I'll play this before. Yeah, that's the problem. Like Super R-Type, and that's kind of why I said like Super R-Type was fine for what it was, but there are better choices. You could have put more of these. You could have put a Parodius game. Like I feel like if Parodius came out on the app over here, I think that would be a great opportunity for a lot of people to try this stuff out. Like this is on the app, and people for the most part seem to like it. Who owns Twin Bee? This is Konami. Konami was the Twin Bee people. Yeah. I don't mean to insult R-Type. No, that's okay. A lot of people didn't know. That's the thing. That's the only game, that's the only game in this update. That's the only game that came out over here. And people didn't really dig it. I'm guessing a revival would likely be a mobile game or a pachinko machine. Here, we'll beat the boss. When you upload this, you call it the oh my god, this great Smash debate. Oh, leave my friend alone. Oh, I thought I could hurt him. Whoa. See, this is a good first boss. I'm not fighting for my life out here. Look at the little guys. Ah, they look great. Woo. My ship is very fast. Can I turn that down? Ah. Whoa. Look at how challenging this is. There's so much happening. That's one of my favorite things about the Q 'em up genre is that they're surprisingly difficult. Like you think, look at this cutesy aesthetic, and then you're getting decimated. Hello. See, was it? Wasn't getting anything cute like this from boomer shooters. No. Yeah, I closed my eyes for a second, and this game is very different from what I last saw. During my emulator days, I was into Super Famicom games, so I've been familiar with Hebereke and Wrecking Crew 98 for years. I'm more excited than people who are open to trying new things can get the opportunity to play. Unfortunately, judging by Twitter's reactions, if it's not familiar, it's garbage. Well, yeah. Which is why I said the virtual console died, because people won't venture past what they don't know. Well, the virtual console I think was a problem because people didn't think it was worth paying that much for those games, which I can't completely disagree with them for that. I mean, some of those games were kind of pricey. Some of them were great. Some of them were a little bit, $5 for a Super Nintendo game, like an RPG, is great. But $5 for some of those other experiences, $9 for the TurboGrafx games, and like some of that stuff was a little bit high price, but I think these are fine. I think that a lot of the discourse from these uploads for the NSO, I think a lot of it just comes from, like I said, not necessarily that the games are bad, but there are better choices. There are a lot of better choices that could be popping up. Like, I don't remember anybody complaining about the last update when Battletoads came out. Battletoads is a pretty tried and true franchise, even if it's remembered for being extremely difficult on the NES. It's a respected franchise. So the fact that game came out, people were kind of happy about it, even if they didn't want to play it. But then you get, like I said, you get updates where it's Bomboozle, Jelly Boy, and Claymates. And you think, why isn't there other games? Like, where are the other things? Where are the legacy items? Where are we got all the Donkey Kong countries. That's pretty great. But I think that's where I see a lot of that come from. I see it's not necessarily that the games are bad. It's more, there are other good games. Why are they not here? And yeah, licensing, obviously licensing is going to be an issue. But if we're expecting subpar games because of licensing, then first of all, that's for Nintendo to fix. Second off, then it's just disappointing. It's disappointing there's nothing to look forward to. If we need to look forward to updates like that, even if the reason is licensing, it just makes the service not something you care about. It makes it so, I don't care. I don't care what goes into it, because it's usually crap. Like, we get lucky if there's a game that we really, really enjoy. I'm of the opinion is NSO objectively better than what the virtual console. Oh, NSO is dramatically better. It's dramatically better. It's things that the option to buy is not there. It's just a glorified rental, and that's true. That's definitely true. Some of these games I think would actually be kind of cool if I could pay $2. See, and now Marcos, yeah, if there was an option to buy these games so you just have them, that would be fantastic. But what happens if those games were $5? Some of these games are worth the $5, but some of them really aren't. What if they were $1 a piece? For all of the games that are on the NSO app right now, what if they were $1 a piece? People would say that's incredible. I get a chance to play it as long as I rent this, as long as I have NSO, I can play these games. And if I ever want to cancel my NSO, I can just buy the games flat out, and it's only $1 or $2. I think people would be very receptive of that. I think they would like it. A lot of companies decided that anthology collections of old games were a good idea again, which is not really a bad idea. What helps with that, Mr. L, is that because they don't have to go through all of the logistics around it. Back in the day, it was a project to put together a compilation, because then you had to manufacture it. You had to distribute it. You had to physically get those games out there. Now you put a compilation together, you put a nice UI together. Hopefully you put some extra effort into like the behind the scenes and the development stuff, and then you release it digitally. And that's way from a logistics company standpoint, that's way easier for them to do. It's cost effective for them to develop it and just put it on a digital platform. Back in the day, you couldn't do that. You needed to deal with all of the manufacturing and distribution, and so immediately that makes it not worth it. But now it's worth it. So you get a lot of companies that want to do that stuff. I love it. I'm glad that happens. But then where is it? Where's my SNES anthology that I can buy? Well, Nintendo's not doing it because they want you to keep renting the app. They want you to keep, the NSO, and they want you to keep onto the app. I more think like other companies. I more think, Namco and stuff where because you do still get Namco collections. I think there was still the Genesis. When was the Genesis collection? I know it was on PS3. I don't know if they did it on PS4.
But yeah, I like the service for the most part. I kind of wish there was more stuff on it. I do wish it was more varied. I wish there were more consoles. I don't like the TurboGrafx isn't a console. I don't like the TurboGrafx was an option on the virtual console, and it's not here. So we don't have TurboGrafx games. I miss the TurboGrafx games. I like that stuff. I don't like that there aren't a lot of like adventure games. On the Nintendo app, for instance, there's Capcom's got a ton of great adventure games, and Konami. I don't think Konami had a ton of adventure games, but like the Genesis app. Here, I'll give you some good ones here. Hold on, before we wrap up here. Where's my Genesis app? Did I re-download that? There it is. Oh, I didn't get it. Download. It's great. Oh, I know. I have to re-download it. Oh, look, I'm gonna re-download it. Let's see how fast it takes. How fast it goes. Yeah, it's faster. I hope the Atari one becomes a standard. I would love that. The Atari 50th was fantastic. Was wonderful. That was a real undertaking, and that's something I'd really like to see out of some other companies. Only wish for the Switch 2 the NSO keeps on, and yeah, I think they will. I don't think they'll make you have to get everything again. Hello? What, do we just lock up? A lot of those options were because they were willing to do them for selling rights, not service rights. Service rights are a different thing that needs to be renegotiated. They added TurboGrafx right at the end of the Wii U Twilight years. They gave it its own gamepad menu. Yeah, it was great. I love that they had that. Oh, wait, why is it taking so long? What's happening? This is unusual. What's happening? Did the memory card break again? Oh, brother. They have us on a subscription. They don't want those numbers to plummet by stripping away all of the apps on a new system. And we say that, but it's Nintendo. Whatever we think they won't do, Nintendo. Yeah, and that's why I don't put it past Nintendo to do anything. Oh, man, it's taking forever. I was just gonna show you like the Genesis app, for instance, has some really, really good choices. There's some really, Crusader of Senti, which I started playing. I think I got pretty far into it, but I never finished it. I don't think I want a Master System app. I would love it. I think the Master System had a lot of great games that I would like for people to really experience. And I don't remember if there's Master System games on the Genesis app, but I would love to see that. There's a lot of good stuff, and I think, and that's why I would argue that's why whenever you have updates like yesterday, I would argue that the reason people get upset is because it just feels like there are other good games, and they're just not bringing them. The Mega Drive has Shining Force 1 and 2, Sonic 2 only for some reason. Well, they went with the best one. Yeah, Genesis, agreed, AGM. Genesis is in a way the best of the bunch. Every single game plays like a dream. It's on par with the SNES in terms of NSO quality. You've got really rare choices on there. You've got Crusader of Senti, which is like a $200 game. You have the Mega Man, what's it called? The Wily Wars. You have that on the app. Like, that's really good. You have the Tetris game is terrible, but it's there. It's an interesting sort of choice. It's something. There's a Darius game on there too. Yeah, Wily Wars. Like, that's a great choice. Why is this taking so long? Here, hold on. I wonder why this is. Hold on. Why did that take so long? New SD card? Yeah, it is a new SD card, but normally everything loads really fast after I changed the SD card. And it was going fast. It was like 1 minute, and then it got to 45%, and then it halted like a wall. Oh, look. It like hung up. I think part of the reason we got the Genesis Switch was because they already had all that set up for the Genesis Mini. But and Dragoon, sure. I don't know if the games are all the same though. I don't know if the games are the same.
on, and that's cool. Look at the presentation, right? You got the Genesis grid background here. This is okay. So let's go through real quick. This is a very expensive game. Alien Soldier never came out in the U.S. This game used to be very expensive. Elysia Dragoon is an expensive game. Beyond Oasis, Castlevania Bloodlines, fantastic game. Comic Zone wasn't my cup of tea back in the day when I played it, but I mean, maybe it's a good game. Columns, Contra Hardcore, one of the best Contra games ever. Out of the entire franchise, this is one of the best Contra games. This game is really good. It's a Zelda type game. And it's like $200. It used to be $200 to get. Maybe a machine. Dynamite Heady, treasure game, fantastic. I don't think I like Earthworm Jim as much as some other people do. And I think, in all honesty, I think people sometimes misremember how good Earthworm Jim is because it's not that great. Flicky, I don't think I ever played this game, but I've heard people say that it's hard to find. I don't know if it's expensive, but it's hard to find. Ghouls and Ghosts. It's Ghouls and Ghosts. It depends on how you feel about that franchise. Golden Axe 1 and 2 are actually good translations of the arcade game. Gunstar is a fantastic game that every year I'm sad that more people haven't played this game. This is a game that slowly but surely is starting to slip under the radar. Kid Chameleon is fantastic. Landstalker is good, but you really got to try it. Light Crusader, we never went and finished this game. We started playing this game on stream. This game is surprisingly good, even if its presentation is very strange. Wily Wars. Musha used to be absurdly expensive. Yeah, Castlevania Bloodlines is here. Musha used to be ridiculously expensive. Phantasy Star 4 is a very good RPG. Pulseman I never played. Revenge of Shinobi, Rustar, Shining Force 1 and 2. These are very classic games. The other catch take has barely updated the Genesis. That's the other thing is that, yeah, you're right. They haven't updated this a lot. Sonic 2, which is the best one. Sonic Spinball, which is incredible. Space Harrier 2, Street Fighter, it's a fine version of the game, but without a 6-button controller, it's not that great. Streets of Rage, like this. Here's a shortcoming. Where are the other Streets of Rage games? Where's Streets of Rage 1 and 2? But Streets of Rage 2 was the best one anyway. Fantasy Zone. This would probably be considered a cute 'em up. You could probably consider that one. Sword of Vermilion, I don't think I ever played. Target Earth never played. Zero Wing, was this a Genesis game? Why do I think this was a Sega CD game? Thunder Force is a very popular speaking of shoot 'em ups, Thunder Force is a very popular shoot 'em up franchise. Toe Jam and Earl, that's fine. And Virtua Fighter 2, it's fine. Yeah, Streets of Rage 1 is just kind of okay. Streets of Rage 3 I thought was decent. I think Virtua Fighter 2 on here is like a side scroller. The Earthworm Jim Mega Drive, but the sequel on NES. Oh yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, no Vector Man. Like what's missing here? You know, the other Fantasy Stars, even though everybody says that 4 is the best one. You don't have Vector Man. AGM, you asked what Ghouls and Ghosts would be best. I prefer Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I think that Arthur had a little bit more mobility in that game. I think it was easier to control him. But this is still a good game. To be honest, I think the Ghouls and Ghosts franchise as a whole is an acquired taste. You either like them or you hate them based on the controls. Yeah, no Echo the Dolphin 2. No Echo Jr. Obviously, the Sonic games, we're missing a few Sonic games here. We're missing just Sonic 1 and then Sonic 3 and Knuckles, right? That's all we're missing because we have Spinball, we have Mean Bean Machine. No Rocket Knight Adventures. Trying to think of some of the other, like, what were some of the other Genesis? I mean, there's stuff like we don't have Ranger. No, Ranger X was here, right? Well, Ranger X was a Genesis game, but that wasn't here. Ranger X was a decent game. Oh, we're missing 3D Blast. That's the other one. We're missing 3D Blast. Yeah, but this is a great, like, for the Genesis,
this is a fantastic lineup. If you want to go, if you put this lineup up against something like the Super Nintendo lineup, game to game, this is probably going to be better. But the stuff that's better on the Super Nintendo is much better than anything here. A handful of exceptions, right? Streets of Rage 2. I think Crusader of Sensi is probably not. I think that's an underrated gem. I think that's something that, like, this is an expensive game and there's a good reason for it. It's not just rare. It's actually a good game. Contra Hardcore, Bloodlines, Gunstar Heroes, like some of these games blow out most of what's on the Super Nintendo app. But then the Super Nintendo app just has so much more. It's a good app, but nobody talks about it. Nobody. When people talk about the NSO stuff, they glance over the Genesis immediately, and it's a shame. I think that kind of happens to Sega itself. Just they kind of get glanced over a lot of the time. Like, everybody acknowledges that Sega was a major player, but I don't think anybody really goes back and explores them more, and it's a shame. Alrighty. I blame Sega mostly. There's like 3 collections on the Switch alone. I don't know. I mean, I do blame Sega. I do blame Sega for the fact that it's Sega's fault that these franchises dwindled. You know. Treadnought. Thank you so much. What's this? Oh no, wait, that's something else. What the heck did I just get a notification for? Oh, I think I got a gift sub to another channel. I got a notification for something, but I think I just received a gift sub to a different channel. But yeah, I mean, a lot of this is Sega's fault because these franchises dwindled. You know, the fact that we never really got another Gunstar Heroes, the fact that we never got, we never got an actual Phantasy Star game. After Phantasy Star 4, we got eventually Phantasy Star Online. They never went back to a traditional turn-based role-playing game. Where's a modern Golden Axe? You know, where's... I can't really say like Dynamite Heady and stuff because that's Treasure, but... you know, where are a lot of these franchises? Where's a modern Altered Beast? I think you could do something really cool with a modern Altered Beast game. Yeah, GBA Gunstar Heroes sequel, which I don't know if that's on the app or not. I mean, we had Streets of Rage 4. You know, Streets of Rage 4 was really cool. We're going to break... Yeah, now we're getting... And yet use Phantasy Star fans accepted the... Wait, what? I mean, let's be honest. Phantasy Star Online was actually really good, but... Oh, Phantasy Star Zero on DS? Oh, I don't know if I ever played that. Oh, U.S. Phantasy Star fans? Wait, us Phantasy Star fans. Okay, I thought you said use. Us Phantasy Star fans accepted the challenge. Yeah, Phantasy Star Online was so good, too. Gunstar Heroes lives on in games like Freedom Planet. I mean, Freedom Planet? I always thought Freedom Planet was Sonic the Hedgehog. Is that not... That you're saying that's Gunstar Heroes? That looks like Sonic. Don't talk about it specifically because it doesn't get updated much. So if you want more, it's probably it's probably not going to happen. I don't see a lot. I mean, I question how much there is, you know, other than the stuff that we mentioned. I question how much is exactly left on the Genesis. Freedom Planet has a lot of Mega Drive. I never played it. I never got to play them. You still play PSO2? I never played PSO2. I never got around to it. It was on the PC in Japan, and then, like, by the time it was accessible over here, I was just out of it. They updated Sega app as often as the SNES, NES. We get more of the crap. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah, I mean, I would agree that we're running out of amazing titles that we would want on the Genesis app. So I don't know, but then I'll leave you with this. I'll leave you with this question here. Do you think it's better to just not release anything anymore? Or do you think it's better to start releasing games that probably aren't that great, but maybe some people have nostalgia for? You know, let's say the SNES app had released all of the major games that people talk about.
do you think it's better for them to say we're just not going to release anything else? Or do you think that's when you start releasing Jelly Boy and Claymates? You know, there's a question of, do you let it dwindle into non-existence, or do you keep it going with whatever you can get onto the system? But Flicky, that's on here. But that is going to do it for today. So thank you very much, everybody, for stopping and for hanging out. Sorry, the ending there kind of lagged on for an extra half hour. I know you guys hate talking, so I apologize for keeping you. Tomorrow is Community Day. We should be doing Community Day. That shouldn't be a problem. There was a chance that I was going to take off tomorrow because there's a sort of like a convention nearby, like an hour away, that I was going to try and make it to. But I think I'm just going to skip it tomorrow. So it turns out I have the weekend off. I have the weekend off of work, but I had other commitments, and it turns out I don't have to do them. So I'm probably just going to take the weekend and relax, play Unicorn Overlord, work in my backyard a little bit. For Community Day, it's probably going to be Mario Kart. Speaking of Mario Kart, we'll probably just do that because I think we did Smash Brothers last week, and I'm pretty sure it was Mario Party the week before. So we'll probably do Mario Kart. We'll see. Maybe we'll have enough people that want to play Helldivers, and maybe we can get a couple of rounds of Helldivers in, and then do some Mario Kart just to sort of round out the day. But that's gonna do it for right now. So we'll see what happens with that. A trio started streaming. Maybe you can no, Elliot's live, so I'm gonna send you over to Elliot. Omnimitch is live too. Yeah, Elliot's up, so I'm gonna send you over to there. Oh yeah, Mario Kart, no items. Mario Kart, no items. Baby Park only. But thank you so much, everybody, for. Oh wait, let me get this set up here. I always forget to start getting this set up here because it's like you have to double click it. The way Twitch does raids now, it just doesn't function very well. The Haunted Arcade. All right, but that is going to do it for today. Thank you everybody for stopping and for hanging out. Don't forget to drink your mask, wear your water, social distance whenever possible. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you all tomorrow.